Welcome to another very late, very I'm still tired. I'm still sleepy as shit, but I'm late as hell. Another episode of the Geeks Forever podcast, now with 30% less sodium than your average can of spam. Uh, I am the one, the only, the notorious, the infamous, the most chaotic panelist in all of Texas, and podcast host, and apparently sleepy, and the latest. I'm also very late to my show. So there you go. I can add that to my repertoire. And joining me is always the man with the plan, the Ayatollah himself. He is the Texas gaming hedgehog. He runs the skinny. He blades Sonic.
Hello. The last Monday of the month.
Oh, it is the last Monday.
Of the month.
It has not. I don't even know if this is actually episode 5. I think we've only missed 1 week. Is it?
Yeah, it was last week. Do we even count our numbers?
No, I've done a pretty good job this year. I think I just. No, this is.
Because we did skip one last week because you were under the weather.
Right. So this is episode 5. It should be episode 6, but we skipped one, and we started late. Actually, we started 6 weeks ago. We started late in January, but we started earlier than normal. And the reason why it feels like that way, because we've done a couple extra episodes for other shows, like the Lighthouse Matsuri drama, and we did an interview for. No, it was on a Monday. Okay, yeah, this is episode 5. This is definitely the 5th episode. We already got comments. Hello, like, hey y'all. What's up, guys?
Hey yo,
hey yo,
everybody.
All right, what do we got? Do we got a skinny besides the stuff that we're going to be talking about today? What's going on in the world?
What is going on in the world today? The one thing I can tell you, there's like a little tease that's going on in the. So I don't know if anybody here was playing Call of Duty. There was like on the walls a little Easter egg of a date that said 3/4/25, and people are like, "What is going on? What is this about?" And it's supposedly rumors of an upcoming something related to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games because they retweeted it. They were talking about it. So the big rumor is they're finally going to remaster 3 and 4 as compared to the first 2 that got remastered 5 years ago. So they're probably going to remaster the next 2.
They need to remaster Underground 1 and 2. Those were like the best.
Yeah, but would you want to do 3 and 4 first, then the first Tony Hawk Pro Skaters first, then go to 1 and 2?
No, because I'm pretty
Thug 1 and Thug 2.
I would rather skip Go, and I would rather skip jail and go straight to Go and collect my 200.
200. Yeah, so that's basically one thing. And can we talk about? Do we want to talk spoilers about Daima?
I mean, we can save that towards the. All right, hold on. Spoiler alert: if you are not watching Dragon Ball Daima,
don't read the comment section.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's just wait towards the end because I know somebody that watches this show watches the dub. So let's wait till later. Damn it! I need to fix the title. No, but yeah, if you're not watching Dragon Ball Daima next week, this week on Friday, it's the finale, the final episode. This is the last official project that Akira Toriyama actually was involved with. Now, are there other Dragon Ball things that were supposed to come out that he might have had like an input, might have input in it, but not as much? Yeah, because Daima was supposed to come out for a while, but there are rumors that we're getting another movie for the 40th anniversary, which was last year. So, I mean, we'll see.
Speaking of this year's, but I know it's kind of random. Just thinking about 40 years. This year's the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers on the NES. So it's kind of surreal to think about that. Yeah,
what?
1985.
It's crazy because when people think like video games 20 years ago, they think Super Nintendo.
Nah, that's like PlayStation 2. That's gonna be Xbox 360.
Next year,
PS3
that'll
and
be
PS3 and Wii. Yeah,
20 years ago.
because the
Holy.
360 came out in November of 2005. Yeah, so it's gonna be 20 years this year. It's kind of crazy.
I remember too. Like I remember the first time they were showing trailers on the TV because we still watched TV back in the day. And God, we can actually say that back in the day, 20 years ago, back in the day. They were showing off like the graphic, like, oh my God, look, Madden NFL football on the Xbox 360. You can actually see the sweat on the guy.
It's Matter 07.
And it was, I think it was actually I remember the first one was 06 on the 360.
It was what, Madden 06 or SmackDown? Oh yeah, Madden. Yeah, Madden. That was on 360.
Madden 07 was the first. I mean, I'm sorry.
SmackDown 07. I'm confused.
Yeah. WWE. Yeah, SmackDown versus Raw 2007 was the first one on the right, because I remember downloading the demo, and this is back when we had slower fucking internet, so it took like an entire day and a half.
And then just for them to go, oh yeah, here's the magazine, and here's the demo that comes in the disc, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that option, so I had to do it the crappy way.
We had to do it that way. Remember the days they used to give it out during Pizza Hut order for PlayStation?
No, I never did that. I was poor, man.
For the PS1, they gave it like
anytime we went to a Blockbuster, it was like a vacation.
Those were days, man. Going to
I miss Blockbuster.
And actually, speaking of that, I found out that one of the last 2 Sam Goody locations shut down this past week. So there were still 2 left, and I think it's in Ohio, and one just shut down recently. So that's an end of an era.
I'm over here trying to find the remote to my TV so I can put on Raw at the same time. Wait, I watch it on the computer. What the hell am I thinking?
Yeah, and no, it's really sad to hear about that Sam Goody. And anybody out there says we're talking about cons and stuff and cosplays. Joanne, the fabric store, announced that they're shutting down all of the stores this year. So it is the end of an era for Joann's, and they announced that, stay tuned for any liquidation sales, going out of business sales, all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking to get some cosplay supplies, there's somewhere to go. And
that's not the only place going out of business. Hooters is filing bankruptcy.
That's another that's another surprise. I mean, here's my thing. When's the last time you went to a Hooters, Goku?
When we hung out with Marky Mark, I want to say 2018.
Okay. Did you go there for the food, or what was the appeal of going to Hooters?
I don't want to say something that's going to get me in a lot of trouble, but like, I'm just going to be like, Twin Peaks is better. Let's just put it out there. Twin Peaks is better, both in aesthetic and cuisine. That's my official statement before somebody clips this into a TikTok and takes it out of context. Breaking news. Mexican hates Hooters.
I don't know, man.
Turns into like this fiasco.
I mean, if you take I don't know, like Hooters doesn't really appeal to me as much as it used to. You know what I mean? Like their food is like hit or miss,
Their food has always been, to me, it's always been like subpar.
Right. Yeah. Like there's other places that have like better food, to be honest with you. And people are like, oh, people don't go there for the food, they go there for the attractive women. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Lately it's just
like I said, Twin Peaks is better. Twin Peaks is way better. Hooters has been a staple, right? I feel like it became a big deal after Big Daddy.
Oh yeah, it made a big deal out of it. Yeah, those used to be the days. And what sucks too is because like I remember everybody was like, oh, let's go to Hooters. Like, when you grow up as a kid and then you want, like, when you grow up, it's like, oh, when I grow up, I want to go to, like, there's one of those restaurants you want to go to. But now it's like, that's all that for what?
Yeah, like I ended up going to the store because I wanted food, and I was like, I don't want Whataburger. I don't want this. I don't want that. Fuck that. So I ended up going to Kroger and getting some sushi. and they have pretty good sushi because they make it in house.
Someone in the comments, Deacon Rap says, "Am I the only one who went to Hooters for the food?"
Deacon Rap, you're the only one that wanted John Cena to win, so shut up.
Let's see. Hooters never had good food. They got run out by Twin Peaks and Bombshells.
We just said we don't go to Hooters, so I mean, you actually went there more than we did. Because
after you grew up, that place was a cool. Yeah, I mean, you growing up, you realize it's not that cool. It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, oh my god, look at how they're dressed, and then you're staring like, oh my god, and then you're like a child, right? It's like now as an adult, like,
no, nothing against the ladies, nothing against y'all. It's just different times.
No, nothing against y'all.
I still remember that.
Some people have wives who beat them with frying pans and like those tortilla rollers.
Yeah. But then they did. I remember that South Park episode. They did like a parody of Hooters, but it's raisins.
I remember that in the video game. Am I the only one that shit made me so uncomfortable? I was like, what the fuck is this?
Hooters, but like younger.
Like these aren't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's kind of weird looking back.
I have never eaten in at the Rainforest Cafe.
That's actually not bad. Their food's actually. I go to the one. I know there's one in Galveston, and I've been to the one in Katy Mills, and that's like the only closest one here.
Isn't the one next to
Onicon? There's a Rainforest Cafe there.
Okay, I was about to say like, I guess when we go back to, because I've been meaning to go back to Onicon. It's just that we started the whole Mr. Uppies thing with the Renaissance Festival, and it kind of blew up. And there's no way I'm gonna like miss out on that. And it's not like I didn't even like get drunk or part. Like I just. People love the Uppies thing, and there's more to it than just lifting people off the ground. And it's not fucking drugs. Get off your.
Funny story. Someone told me I was visiting my aunt this past weekend, and we were talking about like random stuff, and like, oh, you ever been to Texas like Todd Mission? They were talking about Todd Mission, and out of nowhere I said, hey, you ever been to Ren Fair? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I've been to Ren Fair once. I'm like, yeah, what was your experience like? And she's like, well, I've been to the fair itself, and I've been to the campgrounds. I saw this one guy was like trying to like beat up a porta potty, and I was like,
no. I'm not the only person.
I'm sure. I was gonna ask her, like, what did that person look like? But I didn't.
All right, well, he was brown. She said he was brown or looked tan, 70% it was me. Oh, it was some white guy. Definitely wasn't me.
It's like that Shaggy song.
Saw you beating up the porta potty. It wasn't me. Saw you throwing hands. It wasn't me. Saw you get knocked out. It wasn't me. I saw you flat on the ground. It wasn't me.
Okay, so the comment says Rainforest Cafe is overpriced, but you're paying for the experience.
What experience? If I wanted to eat in the fucking woods next with some fucking random animals getting ready to pounce on me, I would have stayed in Mexico. Fuck that. I don't understand. Like I've always hated that shit. You're paying like and this is nothing towards Aang, but like I've always hated like, oh, you're paying for the experience. Like that's like going to Dick's, right? Like that's different though. I mean, they're gonna make fun of you. They're not overpriced, but they will call you like a jackass.
Yeah, if you're wondering, this is the restaurant Dick's, not the sports store. Just keep wondering.
Yeah, I forget there's a sporting store. I think Amazon and like Walmart are kind of putting all these other, businesses out of business because you can pretty much get whatever you want online. Walmart is doing the same thing that Amazon's doing. You get Paramount Plus with their subscription. You can pick up your shit at the store. You can have it delivered. They have third-party vendors, but the only difference is they have fuck Whole Foods. Okay, fuck Whole Foods. Let me just put it out there. Fuck Whole Foods.
What they do?
Nothing. They're overpriced. Like they legitimately are fucking expensive, and they're like organic. Like if you know anything about the process to grow organic food, you'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah, you're better off just not getting organic. You're better off just sticking to non-organic.
Right. It's like, is it organic? Well, I mean, it came from the ground.
Yeah,
so
I mean, everything's technically organic.
Yeah, so like, do you have anything that's organic and gluten free and like? Well, we have an ass whooping on the menu. It's gluten free, it's organic, and it'll put some spice in your life. No, but okay. So somebody brought up Joanne's.
Yeah, we did bring that up. It's kind of sad,
Joanne's. I never really went there.
I've been there for like stuff outside of cosplay. Like for example, like if I'm looking for paint for like painting a figurine or painting like some I don't know, like a hobby or something. Yeah, I'd probably go to Joanne. I mean, especially if they ever gave me a coupon. I mean, that's pretty much most people why they would go there, and also like Michael's, for example. But yeah, it's really sad that Joanne, because some people got like their start or they still use it for their cosplay stuff. Like you can get like fabrics, you can get like like craft foam, you can get like that kind of stuff to help work on stuff. But it's pretty sad, I really feel bad for anybody who's gonna like, lose their jobs or lose their place to like get supplies, especially on a budget. Let's see the comments. Whole Foods is Walmart for rich people.
I like this. Pachinko. Yes, thank you. I finally you said something I can show on the screen.
On the screen.
Just fuck with you, man. Ass whooping, hot and ready.
Ass whoopings.
That's right. Heaping hot ass whoopings, ready to go. Ready to be served up.
Cincho.
So, hold on. So we mentioned. Okay, we talked about Joanne. We talked about Hooters. We talked about. There's so many goddamn businesses going out of business.
Yeah,
it's fucking
sad.
ridiculous.
A Big Lots shut down all of them recently.
I never even knew what the hell they sold until you like posted. Like, hey, look at the Power Ranger figure.
It was 90% off
for like $1.
Yeah, no, so basically what they did, they sold like stuff on a discount, basically. The best way to describe it is like they were selling stuff that like big places like Target or Walmart can sell, and they just like put it there for discount.
So it's
basically
Ross,
basically Ollie's. I mean, Ollie's is like starting popping up here.
Ollie's is pretty good though. I like Ollie's. Ollie's is they always got some cool shit.
A lot of cool stuff.
People like, let's face it, Ross's popularity has only spiked because they started selling anime shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck about Ross until they started
figures
selling,
and like collectibles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that most people were able to get like wrestling figures and like some Legos for like under $10.
They actually had a Seth. I've never seen a WWE figure at Ross before, but I saw one. It was a basic Seth Rollins, and I think it was SummerSlam edition from a few during the pandemic. It had a beat up box, but whenever I see wrestling figures, it's mostly AEW.
Basically get it for 75% off than they normally cost.
$4. I have 3 so far.
Yeah, I was able to use extras for parts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because let me tell you something. The reason, and this is to you wrestling fans out there, AEW figures are like the fucking worst. And I've complained to Sonic about this. MJF has like stumpy ass legs and like orangutan arms. Like his arms are long as fuck, but his legs are short.
Their scaling just sucks. You ever had, so anybody out there who could probably relate to this, like you ever had like a statue or like any anime figure or anything like that you want to put them right next to each other, right? And they're supposed to be like, you want them to be equal scaling or like be like more accurate height. Imagine getting a figure of like a character that's like 5 feet, be as tall as like someone who's like almost 7 feet. And you're like, what the F? It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Like their Jack Hager figure is bigger than my Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, the Bryan Danielson is bigger than the Brock Lesnar Ultimate. I was like, no way. Why is this Bryan Danielson as tall as a Brock?
It was bigger. It was taller and wider than my Cowboy Brock Lesnar figure. I was like, no,
their scaling is really bad.
It's so bad. Like it's bad. But the figures were $4, so you know what? Fuck it. I mean, does it have to be accurate if it's $4?
I kind of use it for extra parts, like in case I need extra hoodies, extra mic hands, weapons, etc.
I'm still tripping. Somebody opened up this was years ago when CM Punk was still in AEW. Somebody opened up the figure, took away the microphone, left a little note that said, "You don't deserve a voice."
Should have took a picture of that.
I should have. We bought it. The only reason why we found out was because because I was like, oh, hey, it's CM Punk, and then I look at the I wanted another one, so I look at the original. I was like, wait a minute, what? Why is this one in a different pose?
And then
I'm like, holy shit, he's supposed to come with a microphone. Holy hell, he's supposed to come with a mic. And then I open it up because I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I'm just gonna take it out of the box. And there's a little note that says, "You don't deserve a voice."
Was that aimed towards us or aimed towards the figure?
It was, I think it was the figure because he was missing his mic. And like, I was wondering the same thing too. Like, who the fuck? Like, listen here, you little shit. Like, I took it personally, like, but it was aimed towards Punk because he, like, he just got into the fist fight with the middle-aged bucks. So, I think people were still salty about that, and so it was funny. I mean, ironically, he ended up back in the WWE, who he'd been talking shit about for 10 years. He came back to him. WWE's like, remember when you were talking all that shit before and you said you never come back? Peppermint Farms remembers. But it was who else is going out of business? I mean, there's lots of businesses that are going under right now. We only have like 2 Fuddruckers left in the city.
It was really kind of surreal to think about that, because at one point we had like 8 or 9, 10 of them, and then just down to like 2. Because I know there's one in like I-10.
Memorial City. So that's one of them. It's Memorial City.
Where's the other one?
And I have no idea where the second one is.
I'm trying to figure out, because that's like the only one I know that was open. Oh, man. Then also, I mean, GameStop. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they start shutting down more. There's a couple of GameStops near me that shut down.
When was the last time you legitimately just woke up one day like, you know what, I gotta go to GameStop?
Oh man,
not because you were hunting something, but you just woke up randomly.
Let's go to GameStop.
I gotta go to GameStop.
Yeah,
let's go to GameStop.
I don't remember, dude. It was kind of funny because when I was working on my previous job, in case I'm like, all right, well, I wait for something, maybe I'll just like, walk around like some stores, window shopping or something like that. And I was like, maybe GameStop, I'll go check it around. Dude, especially the ones in the malls, going in there, I can't tell you how fast I ever like walked in and walked out immediately, because it was like nothing. They all got much, and then and then they recently came out, they were blaming it on like, oh, they got all political and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, listen, maybe if 90% of your wall wasn't like Funko Pops, people would go there more often, because it's mostly been Funkos. That's all, mostly collectibles I've been selling.
Yeah, that's right. That's Hot Topic shtick. You can't do the same shit as them. You can't make 70% of the wall Funko Pops.
And it's coming for someone who used to collect Funkos. I do sometimes. It's just not as much as I used. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about like what's that word? Downsizing. I'm thinking about downsizing my collection.
Swap meets.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You know what? There's a lot of these toy shows that are happening. You could probably, or swap meets, man. It's just, those are encouraging. Those are fun to go to.
Go trade your crap with somebody else's
or buy
crap.
Someone's crap, and then they'll sell your crap.
Well, it depends on the trade show. I mean, on the swap meet, because some cons
don't do that. You have to like literally swap something. You can't just like buy something. But
yeah, you can't loophole it either. Like, look, I will swap this cash
for your item. Yeah. But like, for example, Colossal Con, like the way they did it, that was great. Otaku Flea Market. It's way better than the dealers, actually, honestly. Let's see the comments. I've only gone to GameStop to search for collectibles or any physical games, but I now go to Walmart or Target now for that. Yeah, I mean Target is pretty good with that kind of stuff, especially especially when they put stuff on clearance. That's always like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Recent like 2 weeks ago, they were putting like Switch games on clearance. Someone told me they got Metroid Prime Remaster for like $10, and I was like, "What? That's a steal."
That is like, what the hell?
Some Targets, I'm like, bro, they put like a lot of games and like
who's that? Who is that? I know they probably watch the show. I know they're in our Discord. But you know who I'm talking about, right? The person is, oh, look what I found at the flea market, or look what I found at the local garage sale.
Shout out to him, by the way. He finds all these cool deals and stuff. And
shout out to you. I'm over here sitting down.
Our Discord has a channel. I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun to do this. It's called Show and Tell, and just basically you just show off what you got, or just show off anything you like. And a lot of people are showing off their cool stuff, so we like that. And in the comments, I agree with this. GameStop was cool when midnight releases were a thing. Yeah, COVID really killed that. And
what? But midnight releases were already kind of like, they were kind of doing. Dude, you know what really killed them? The asshole who shot up that movie theater during the
that
Dark
was for
Knight
theaters
Rises.
though, not for like
No,
they were still.
It was so yeah.
Because they were still doing midnight releases for like games and stuff. But like for the theater, yeah, some of them they just did it earlier. They would do like 7 p.m. showings or 8 p.m. showings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but some GameStops weren't even doing the midnight release anymore. No, they were like, you know what?
Come they would do that. I remember before COVID happened, they were gonna do that one for Doom and Animal Crossing because they were coming out the same day, and like, oh my god, this is gonna be like the funniest thing ever. And then COVID killed all this.
Why. That's why people were making the connection between the two. I was wondering, why are people like crossing these two over?
Isabelle and Doom?
Yeah, or like making them a couple, or shipping them, or like,
that's
like,
why. So here's a little bit of context for anybody out there. So Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Switch both came out at the same day. They came out on March 20th, 2020, but that was the week that everything shut down. So it kind of fucked up potentially the biggest midnight release. Honestly, I was like, I didn't pre-order any of those, but I would have gone to see how funny it would have been just seeing it.
I would have seen some Doom cosplayers and
Animal Crossing
Isabelle cosplayers.
Someone made a joke. Someone cosplayed as Isabelle. Was like, "Oh, you here for Animal Crossing?" No, I'm here for Doom.
Yeah, that would have been great.
We're here for Doom. And oh yeah, here in the comment section. That reminds me of some news. Nintendo's discontinuing their gold points next month. So if you're wondering what it is, so if you bought a game on the Switch, you earn gold points. Basically, you earn basically cash back. And on I think it's like late March, basically a month from now, they're going to stop doing that. So basically saying, oh, if you get a game and you're trying to earn the points, you don't get any points anymore. And to be honest, I didn't really use it much. You know what I mean? When I heard the announcement, I was like, oh no, what my $2 that I have in my little Nintendo Switch account, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
Hey. I saved a whole 15, okay? One of the Digimon games. That shit was cool. Like the key though, here's the thing. I think they're getting rid of the point system because they're going to introduce a brand new one for the Switch 2, for the Switch DOS.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because I feel like, do you think, here's a random thing. So the Switch 2 is going to come, they're doing a direct about this in April. Mm-hmm. Do you think they're going to do like an achievement system for the Switch?
I don't think so, because Nintendo's always tried to
distance themselves from do their own thing, right?
Yeah, and plus they really try to stay from the competitive gaming circuit as much as I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they start, but they didn't start with the Wii U.
Yeah, they didn't do it on the Wii U nor the Switch. Do you think but the Switch 2? I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. we'll see what happens because the Switch 2, I don't know. Just looking at it, I probably wouldn't get it until the Direct comes out. Like, I'm not gonna get it day one. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at it, I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. You know?
Yeah, I'm not getting mine day one. I'm gonna let the scalpers and the people fight over it, and I'll get it. I'll get it like
later on
after the holidays when it's easy to find.
Yeah. And yeah, speaking of Nintendo, the Pokemon Day is in 3 days, so they're gonna do a Pokemon Direct, and there's like a lot of rumors coming out and all that stuff. I think one of them is like they're gonna release like all of like the first gen like in a collection or something like that, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how's that gonna work.
Yeah, how's that gonna work? Like,
is it gonna be like on the Switch Online, or is it gonna be like an actual like full on like compilation? That I'm wondering.
Oh no, you mentioned that. Oh god. Oh no, they would do some shit like that. Like, oh, we're gonna make it part of the Nintendo, the Switch Online, where you have to pay $20 or $65 a year to play these games.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, if they do re-release the games on the Switch, will they be compatible with the Pokemon app? The one where the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, is it Pokemon Home?
Yeah,
Home, right? I think so. Yeah. I have a gut feeling Kirby's most likely getting a new game on the Switch too. I mean, yeah, maybe because that one that came out a few years ago was really good. Forgotten Land. That was a good Kirby game. It also best to wait for the beta testers can iron and play any bugs with the system or games. Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, speaking of, this past weekend, I was actually I got selected to participate in the basically in the network beta for that new Sonic Racing game.
Yeah.
And I got to play it this past weekend, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's actually it's actually the most chaotic game I've ever played, like kart racer, since like Mario Kart Wii.
I gotta watch it. So we talked about video games. So we're gonna avoid the Daima talk until the end. So
okay,
all right, but let's talk about KATSUCON. I know neither one of us went.
No, but we've heard we've heard the stories of what happened up at KATSUCON. Especially on our Discord, we did briefly talk about it. And let's just say, I guess we could say shit literally hit the fan. Yeah, so yeah, that was a really shitty situation, and I'm no pun intended.
I was sent a video by Mrs. Deacon Rap.
Yes.
Holy crap! It's an actual news report.
Yeah, that's a real. There's news reports about this.
All right, let's watch and see what.
Share it.
I'm looking for the screen share button. Oh, I'm still half asleep.
This is what was raining down on people attending an event tonight at the Gaylord National Hotel and Convention Center. People at KATSUCON, a 3-day multicultural cosplay and anime convention at the National Harbor.
How come I can't hear shit?
A pipe burst, sending what they say is sewage onto guests and artists' work.
Let's not even waste any time. There were multiple water-related incidents during this weekend. The staff was ruder than ever.
Okay, I can't hear a damn thing.
All right. So basically, the big story coming out was.
Wait, seriously, I can't hear anything.
No, I heard. I could hear you, and I heard the video, but I don't know how you could. That was kind of weird. You couldn't hear it. Anyway, so
all playing in the background.
No, well, we kind of already have an idea what's gonna like in that for that main attraction, I guess.
Okay, I got it to work. I know why it wasn't working because the app restream's coming out through my headset, but I was watching YouTube on the monitors earlier.
Okay,
there goes.
Related incidents during this weekend. The staff was ruder than ever. Some of the rumors are absolutely insane. KATSUCON 2025 was not good. Before we get into everything that happened over the span of 3 to 4 days, hi, my name is Ezra Faye. I'm a professional makeup artist, a cosplayer, and do not let looks deceive you. I am very sick right now. As tradition states, I get sick every year after KATSUCON, so hopefully I'm doing a good job hiding it, but I did not want to waste any time on making this video.
I wanted to say, as soon as she said that, I noticed her nose.
Yeah,
was
I was wondering, is that like a makeup, or she was like, yeah, she looks really like under the weather.
Yeah, I'm like, look at you looking over here like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You're definitely sick.
Yeah, no. So, we're just. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna listen to what she says and then pause and give our thoughts. I think that's the safe way to say.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Because if we show the whole video, it's like, okay, that's kind of defeats the purpose. We're trying to talk about it.
Also, I don't think we can show the whole video. We can show the whole video, but not without like pausing, because if we play the whole video, I think there's a lot of gray area with the fair play.
Fair
but
use.
if we pause it and play it, fair use.
All right. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we'll just watch. So shout out to this YouTuber for this, because and not just that, but like we got a lot of information. Like I was seeing stuff on TikTok about this thing, about
subscribe.
Yeah, there you go. That's what y'all should be doing to our channel, by the way.
That's right. You should be ringling the ding-a-ling button so you can be notified every time we go live.
Exactly.
There you go. See, look, we're supporting our fellow YouTubers.
Fellow cosplayers.
Let's play the
Yeah,
rest of
my
shit.
main source for most of this information is a Facebook group and Reddit, so take any kind of alleged claims with a grain of salt. I believe that this KATSUCON is going down in the Hall of Fame for all of.
Wait. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does anyone watching this know if that's the same convention where Ministry of Otaku got confronted by those cops? Because it looks like it.
Was he at KATSUCON?
The wrong, with a grain of salt. Look. I believe that this KATSUCON is going.
See that? That looks like it might just be a lookalike, but that looks like the escalator that he was on.
Keep this in mind. KATSUCON is in Maryland, right? Yeah. So
yes, I believe
so. Probably would be him.
He travels a lot. Remember, he said that he lives in DC and he traveled all the way to Texas for Colossal.
Yeah, for Matsuri.
I don't know. I'm gonna shut up now.
Going down in the Hall of Fame for all of the wrong reasons. So this is only my 4th ever KATSUCON, and I'm sure I'm gonna have some tenured KATSUCON veteran come in the comments and be like, oh, it's been way worse, or when I went back in the early okay, I don't care. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't go to KATSUCON when I was 7 years old. I just couldn't.
Thank you. Finally, somebody goddamn said it. Thank you. Nobody cares.
Said the quiet part out loud.
For real, I hate that. When I was going back in the day, when I was going to cons, we had to walk 10 miles up a hill and then 10 miles up another hill to get home.
It's the con boomers. And
yes, and
I could apply that to Anime Expo as well, because people will be like, "Oh my god, the line is awful this year," and then people be like, "Oh, it's always that every year," and all. And I'm like, every year we got to hear that same thing, and then. Until last year, it was actually better, but yet people will still say, "Oh, it's too crowded and all that stuff." And yeah, I'm already sick of hearing it too. But I'm kind of glad she kind of said the quiet part out loud, because there's a lot of con goers who would just be like, "Oh, back in my day, it used to be this. Back in my day, it used to be that." I'm like, okay, we get it.
Yeah, no, I hate that crap. It's not a dick swinging contest, man. Oh, I suffered more back in my day. You kids, though, shut the hell up. No, shut up. This I hate it when people, man, my life sucks. A family member just died. Well, when I was growing up, everyone died.
Yeah.
Everyone was dead. I had to fend for myself. Oh yeah, and look at how you turned out. So that's not exactly a silver
lining. It's not really. Yeah, it just makes him look like such a d-bag.
Like a dick. I'll say it like a dick. All right, let's keep watching, homegirl.
In the 4 years that I have gone, this one was absolutely trash. I love KATSUCON. KATSUCON is my favorite convention, if not my favorite part of the entire year. So I'm sure you can imagine my disappointment as events continued to unfold throughout the weekend, and there was just like a general bad vibe in the air. So it all started off on Wednesday. I was so excited. I woke up at 6 in the morning because we always like to go up a day or two early to do other stuff in the area. I immediately see that I have a DM from there is
hold on. Okay, so I'm sending this to all my friends going to Katsu. Please read, there was a major mainline water break near National Harbor and the entire area is under boil water advisory as of what the hell?
It is not safe to consume tap water at the Gaylord or any surrounding hotels. Buy bottled water and bring it with you. Consuming tap water without boiling first can make you sick due to bacterial contamination. You cannot use tap water to drink, brush your teeth, or wash prepared food. Do not consume any ice from the ice machines. You could shower on it, however, you must not get into your mouth. Yeah, the fact that they have to say, the fact that she got that information from her friend and not from, like, did the convention like notify people about this?
No, but there was a notification. System pressure returns. Okay, label early morning major water main break in southern Prince George's County. Huh? That's where we need our audience to Scooby-Doo that shit. Find out that the convention itself mentioned anything about this to its attendees or even its guests. God, can you imagine? Like, I would not bathe in that shit. I would not. I would be stinky all week. I would get some baby wipes at that point and just start wiping.
Contaminated water in the area, that the water's not safe to drink in, not safe to shower in, brush your teeth, like anything that you need water for, forget it. There was a water line that broke in the Prince George County area, which means the National Harbor and all of the surrounding areas, hotels, all of that stuff were affected. The whole area was under a boil water advisory. So that was like the first omen for the weekend, was like, great, like we don't have drinkable water. Thankfully, the boil water advisory was lifted at around 4 p.m. the same day that the advisory was set. Of course, I know there were definitely people that were skeptical about it, and rightfully so, because we do not need people going down thanks to contaminated water during KATSUCON weekend. I will say, and this is unrelated to the con, but like massive shout out to the cosplay community in that issue. Like I saw so many people making sure to spread awareness. It was really nice that like we were all looking out for each other. So bonus points for the cosplay community. Now we always stay at the MGM National Harbor. It's not in that hotel block. You actually do have to Uber. We stayed there one year when we couldn't get a spot in the Gaylord and everything on the hotel block was already taken, and that was a last resort, but we found that we actually love it. We choose to stay there every year now. The MGM is an absolutely beautiful venue. I mean, they deck it out for Chinese New Year. They have restaurants, a food court, shops, they have the casino. So there's lots of other things to do, and it is nice to be able to get away from that hotel block when you need it. Another reason why I'm so happy that we don't stay at the Gaylord, besides the never-ending craziness that you simply cannot get away from by being there, the Gaylord had like this long list of rules that they were apparently giving out to people.
All right, let's see if we can try to read some of these.
Can you zoom into the video or?
Nah.
Okay.
Hold on. Maybe I can do something real quick. When in doubt, chicken out. Identify 3. So let's see. Okay, now my computer froze.
Oh no.
Oh, there it goes. Ah, damn it. Wait, isn't that supposed to be full screen? Yeah, what the hell? All right. Even if I zoomed in, it's kind of blurry.
Mm-hmm.
No smoking or vaping. No items allowed on something room. No weapons permitted. Proper attire at all times. Parties are not allowed in the guest rooms or suites at any time. Only limited alcohol per personnel consumption is allowed in the guest areas. Oh, so they're limiting how much we can drink.
Yeah, so basically the fun police.
Yeah, that's not full screen. Stop lying to me, bitch. If that was full screen, why can't I still scroll?
That is kind of weird. It's kind of random.
Yeah, what the This is stupid.
All right, in the comment section, so we're gonna read this while Goku's dealing with the clashing with the full screen. You kids with your breathing and your being alive are so spoiled. I was dead back in my day.
Jeez. You know what? That makes sense.
Kids got it easy these days.
All right, let's see if she goes over the rules.
Yeah, staying there. They were really doing the most, and apparently this list has been in effect for years and years and years, as I read those somewhat pretentious KATSUCON veterans from years ago saying like, oh, well, this has been a thing. Oh, you must be new here. Like, I don't think I like KATSUCON veterans, first of all. Second of all,
so I know we keep pausing, and I know, and it gets annoying eventually, but we'll get there. I hate that. I hate con veterans. I fucking do. Well, that's always been a thing. Good. And you know what? I didn't ask you, bitch.
Whoop-de-doo.
Like, why is this like this? Oh, well, you know, it's this, yada, yada. I hate that shit. I hate that almost as much as like the people that are like, oh, you're not a real gamer if you don't play these games, or you're not a real anime fan if you don't.
Yeah. So kind of like gatekeeping.
Oh, you only play Mario games. You're not a real gamer. Okay. Well, you know, you're about to get your ass whooped by my fist, so you must not be really alive then. Oh, that's the best I can come up with. Boo. Go back.
Rules were just a little bit like insane. Things like only certain amounts of people allowed in the room at a time. And I think the craziest one being, and you can pause and read this whole list because it's all like very like strict. But the craziest one is if you read about the alcohol and they're basically saying like, oh, only one bottle of liquor or only 1 6-pack. It's almost laughable because it's like, how are you possibly going to enforce that? And I'm like laughing to myself thinking about it as we're like carrying up a Sephora bag full of liquor to a hotel room party. These rules are just like, a lot of them cannot be enforced, but it was very like, just reading it seeming like very like they're trying to like police it. And I'm starting to think like, oh, like the Gaylord probably doesn't like hosting KATSUCON, but it's like, but you are hosting it, so don't be a bitch about it, basically. Another thing that I was looking at Thursday during the day that caught me off guard was a cosplayer stating that they went down.
Guys, I just went down to the Otterum, and in my cosplay, and the Gaylord staff told me I had to go back and change. Apparently, cosplay isn't allowed until Friday.
What the hell?
Yo.
And it's a 3-day con, or is it a 4-day con?
It's a 3-day con because they said until Friday. Unless they run until Monday.
Has to be a 3-day. That's
yo. God damn, like that's fucked up. Actually, that's a form of censorship. Now, do businesses have the right to refuse service and allow who they want? Yeah, obviously. It's not against our constitutional rights to tell you to fuck off because you decided to dress like as Captain Underpants and run around the lobby in your tidy whities. But yeah, I mean that's kind
of wild. I don't know. I've never heard of like a venue that'd be like against that. You know what I mean? It reminds me a lot of like, it's like, imagine if Colossal Con did that. Like like people would be there on Thursday and they'd be like sometimes would be in cosplay and stuff.
You know who did that shit? You know who actually did that shit? I don't know if you remember, Anime Matsuri at the Crown Plaza rodeo weekend. Remember, they hated us. I don't know if you remember, but they fucking hated all of us. And they're like, you people go around the back. They sounded like Uncle Ruckus too. It was crazy. Like, you weren't allowed to use the front entrance. You weren't allowed to go to the lobby if you were in cosplay.
That's crazy.
You had to use the side entrance or the back entrance. It's like, It was fucked. It was fucked up.
Keep going.
To the hotel area in the Gaylord in cosplay, and they were basically told like, you can't be here until Friday. Now we know that like, yeah, it's pretty obvious that you're cosplaying, but the hotel staff can't just be like, you're cosplaying, go change, because it's like, who are you to say this person doesn't dress like this every single day? So I don't know if that was actually true or not, but it was a little weird. And I also saw that they were trying really hard to like make it so that no cosplayers were allowed until Friday. And again, it's like, how are you going to enforce that? Because you're going to have all these people coming for last minute badge pickup and just to hang out, and they're all going to be in cosplay, and you simply cannot stop every single cosplayer be like, oh, no cosplay, no KATSUCON until tomorrow. Like, there was no way. We went Thursday night. I was a little nervous when we went Thursday night that we were going to get turned away, but there were just so many people there. Like, it was like a regular Thursday night at KATSUCON. Another thing that was weird to me, at least when I ordered my badge, probably in like September is when I think I bought my badge, there was no option for in-person pickup. Every year that I've gone to Katsu, I always buy the ticket online and then go pick up the physical badge in person. It was a $15 shipping fee for the badge, and I've always been able to opt out of it, and this year there was no way to opt out of it. So that was a little frustrating, especially when like there were still people who could go in person and buy a badge on Thursday. Very weird. Can we take a moment to talk about how hideous the badges were this year? So first of all, it was KATSUCON's 30th anniversary, and I guess the theme was Japanese horror, which first of all, like nowhere in the con was it reflected like, oh, it's Japanese horror theme this year. You've got 30th anniversary and you've got something really cool like Japanese horror, and they just picked the ugliest thing to slap on that badge. Like, I'm sorry to
Wait, go back to that. I want to see that again. What the hell?
Like nowhere in the con was it reflected like, oh, it's Japanese horror theme this year. You've got 30th anniversary and you've got something really cool like Japanese horror, and they just picked the ugly.
Here you go. That looks like a business card.
It does look like a business card. Why did they have medieval Bambi on the fucking?
That looks so, I don't know. That looks kind of
like a roach.
Looks like a spider with like a deer head.
It does. It looks like
that is, yeah, I don't know. For your 30th anniversary, and then you make it themed after horror, you could have saved that horror thing for next year.
Oh, it is. It
okay, yeah, 14th, 15th, 16th. Okay, that's a 3-day.
Why is it all in black and white though? You can't really see the.
I don't know. It's supposed to stimulate like horror, I guess, like being in the dark. But
yeah, but like it looks bad.
I just again, like I said, I just think it's kind of weird that they were gonna, if for a 30th anniversary, you should have done it based you're theme it around the 30th anniversary, because especially what she says, you know, oh, if it's supposed to be like horror, you barely see anything that resembles horror. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like SAIYAN Japan, when like every year they do like a theme, but they kind of try to make it like dedicate to that theme. Like when they did for 15, it was like quinceañera, and they had like quinceañera themed stuff. In the comment section right here, procrastination at its best.
It does. It looks like they waited till the last minute and like ordered this shit next day, a delivery from Amazon. It looks lazy. It looks poorly. Let's just face it. We're never going to fucking work with KATSUCON at this point. It looks like shit.
Yeah, it just looks so like, I don't know. Yeah, again, it's like, it just looks like a business card from a distance.
I would have shit in somebody's Cheerios if they handed me as a badge. Like, you know, go back there and
give
me a better badge. They don't have a mask. They don't have a mascot. Ushicon has a mascot. Delta has a mascot. SAIYAN Japan has a mascot. Hell, even fucking Anime Matsuri fucking has a mascot. And these
Anime
people
Expo
have
has one too.
Yeah, there you go.
They got like 4 characters as mascots.
Some of the best conventions in the country have mascots, and some of the shittiest Matsuri have mascots too. Why can't you have one? Yours is fucking horror movie bug Bambi.
Thing to slap on that badge. Like, I'm sorry to whoever the artist was, but that was so ugly. Like, of all of the things you could have done some really cool, ornate looking like yokai or something, and you chose the fucking like spider cow. And of course, like, you see, I tried to like
it's a cow.
Oh, I thought it was a deer. Yeah, so that's what we said.
Yeah,
looks like a bull. Now I think if I look, yeah, it looks like a deer from a distance, but then
it still looks like a fucking deer.
Spider deer.
A little bit because I was just like, I don't want to, ew. You have to like think like a panel of people like sat down and agreed on that. And we're like, you know what really reflects not only our 30th anniversary, but this cool theme too? The spider cow. Horrendous. The next thing that happened before the con even started was all of these rumors started floating around that there was going to be no gazebo. And of course, there were some like really convincing, like AI edited looking pictures of like, oh, the gazebo's gone. But I think they were saying like it's due to like structural errors or something. Really weird, really random rumor. I can confirm the gazebo was there and alive. There were even some like mini gazebos that were super cute. Oh, and another thing too, our friends who were rooming passes. And it was so weird because they sent us on like a wild goose chase to get them. So we had to go and stand in the registration line to get their pass. And then you would think like, okay, here's your VIP pass, enjoy the con. No, it's like they had to go there and then get sent somewhere else to pick up the rest of their stuff for the VIP package. I don't know if it was like the actual bag or just the merch or what, but it was not all in one spot. And like the spot that it was at was really hard to find. Even for my boyfriend and I who have been there multiple years, we're like, where are we going? We did so many like circles around the convention center trying to find this room. And it was just like very off to the side, like not really clearly marked. Super weird. I also heard a lot of complaints about like just the VIP experience in general, even allegedly that VIPs were getting like denied their front of line privileges and things like that. And just like overall, like not being too many perks for the price of a VIP pass. They got like a crappy water bottle and a crap.
I was like, why the fuck is
what?
that pausing?
So would that kind of defeats the purpose of the VIP? Like, it's kind of that's kind of wild. That's kind of like, you know, they paid this so much money. You're supposed to get like a bunch of perks. Like, why are they treating it like it's, you know, it's like that thing like you get what you pay for, but like I feel like they didn't get that much for what they paid for. Based on what she's allegedly, based on what she's saying. But the thing with the gazebo, the gazebo thing, I understand because a lot of people, a lot of cosplayers I have seen, like they take photos of event like at KATSUCON, they would take cosplay photos under the gazebo, or like not just KATSUCON but also MagFest, because that usually takes place there too. And I'm like, why would they get rid of that? You know, if it's like a structural thing or is like a maintenance thing, I mean, if anything, they probably could have like, I don't know, did that ahead of time before KATSUCON, because you know that's a big attraction.
Mm-hmm. So their VIP thing kind of reminds me of the Matsuri thing, the anime Matsuri thing, where do you remember that this year they had to buy the package for the band, and it was like for $400.
Yeah.
I think it was like $500. We were saying it's the same at the price for the VIP badge and the band package. It was $500, same as a PlayStation 5. Like, this is fucking getting ridiculous. This is why I don't do VIP bullshit. I will never buy a VIP package. I don't care who's the guest of honor or what lines I can skip. Just, I'm never doing it.
I wouldn't either.
Never.
I don't know. It's just, you know, especially for stuff like this, you know what I mean? And people have been telling me too, like they would go to conventions and they would get VIPs, but then like lately they're like, you know, I was expecting VIPs, you're supposed to get something bigger, something better, something like that. But then lately it's just like, man, I feel like it feels like the same as the general price. You know, if anything, I would rather just get a general price if that's what I'm gonna get with VIP.
Yeah, you don't get shit nowadays. No, you want to skip in line, you got to buy the VIP Fast Pass. I'm like, what the hell? Is this Six Flags? Disney World? I know. I was like, what the fuck? Better give me my shit that I paid for. I'm about to throw hand. And I don't like the fact, she said it, like they had to go to like another area to get the rest of the crap. Why didn't the front like registration have everything?
Yeah, they should have had like a line dedicated to VIPs or something like that.
Yeah, or at least had everything at registration. Even if you don't have a line dedicated to them, fine. Have their shit ready. Right. Why are they jumping through hoops? Why are you making them? These are our VIPs. These are the people that are spending their hard-earned money so I can keep paying the mortgage on my second house. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't anybody take it that seriously. But yeah, this is bullshit. Like, fuck this. All right, let's I'm already like annoyed by this con. We haven't even gotten to the juicy the what is it? The moist parts. The shitty part. We didn't even get into the shitty parts.
Backpack, and that was it. And I don't know how much it was, but I can imagine not worth it. So we finally made it to Friday because we're not even in the actual con yet. We got there, and the first thing that we did was get in line for the artist alley. So we're in this really long line, and of course, you know, we've got like volunteers screaming at us the whole time, and we're like, bro, like it's Friday morning, like you might want to save that energy. But the line finally starts moving, right? The way that they had it set up was that once you got to like the middle of the line, you're basically walking in a line that's also the main walkway, so you really just have to like watch the person in front of you and hope that you don't lose them. And we were lucky enough to like get caught off by some guy in like this inflatable animal suit. I don't even remember what it was right now, but like thanks to him, and we had a long piece of the line behind us.
Hey, look, it's the mascot.
There's a mascot wearing a cone.
No, I meant the deer. No, not my dog. Yeah, my dog came to visit, but she said the inflatable cosplayer, it was a deer.
Yeah, how ironic. Someone should mention that to her in the comments, like, hey, by the way, you saw the mascot of the KATSUCON badge artist.
Hey, you stay here and you love
We got cut off from the line. We all ended up somehow in the vendors room line. So like it was all mixed up, and we're all standing there like, what's happening? So somehow the line, I don't know if it was like the organization or the guy in the inflatable suit, but like the line got all messed up. The volunteers had no idea what was going on. We had no idea what was going on. And I will give a kudos to the volunteers. Like they turned the situation around pretty quickly, but it was one of those minutes of like, all right, who set up the line so that we were going right in the main walkway? That doesn't seem very efficient to me. So we get in the artist alley, right? And this is my complaint with KATSUCON every year, is why is the room for the artist alley like half the size of the vendors room? Like I'm sure there's like less artists and they have smaller setups, but like they need a bigger room. They need a room like the same size of the dealer's room. And I don't care if it makes like the artist alley look more sparse. Like there is just simply not enough room in that artist alley. Every year it's like shoulder to shoulder traffic. KATSUCON 2025 wins for the worst body odor I have ever smelled in my entire life. That's not really the con's fault, but I just felt like sharing.
I don't know about all that.
There's been a lot. There's a lot of other contenders for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't been to like what was it? Was Anime Houston when they were at Guns Point?
Yeah, that was 2022. No, 2021.
2020 Anime Houston Gaming Room 2021 was pretty awful.
Yeah, I remember how poorly that smelled. That was really bad.
Come here.
But yeah, just shoulder to shoulder. And then my next complaint is that there was just really not a lot of good stuff in the artist alley, and that's like no like drag on the artists and their hard work, but I just felt like it wasn't as good as it was in the past few years. And I've talked about this with a couple people as well, just not really being able to find anything, or it was all just kind of like the same stuff. I saw a lot of like the same artists I've seen in the last few KATSUCONs that we've been to, and it's just kind of like, all right, I'm ready for something new. Most of my money usually goes in the artist alley, and I feel like I hardly got anything out of there. They need to have a rule about props in the artist alley. If they are going to shove us all into that teeny tiny room, we can't have large props. Okay, there was this guy, and he had this ginormous shit on a cart, probably that wide. Like so huge, it would like probably go up to my boob if I stood next to it in height. Like it was no tiny little like RC controlled.
I'm about to say, I hope that's not the prop she's talking about.
Oh, you mean Jeff? That's Jeff the land shark from Marvel Rivals. He got popular because it's a shark. Voiced by one of our guests who previously did a show with us, John Bailey, in case you didn't know that. Yeah, he voices the little shark. Jeff.
I have not played Marvel Rivals because I hate
it's not a battle royale games. No, it's basically Overwatch with Marvel characters.
I never
played it's basically
Overwatch.
Team Fortress 2.
Okay, see, that's better. Okay, all right, I'll check it out, especially now that I heard that everything might go downhill.
Something like this was a huge ship. That guy has been there in the past, and look, ship guy, if you're watching this, great job. You made a very excellent prop, sir. However, if you would like to show off your prop, might I suggest not the room where everyone is already shoulder to shoulder and can't walk? Please reconsider. Let's get to the real deal, the water pipe bursting. So I'm sure we've all seen it.
I
don't know what time it happened. I believe it was sometime in the afternoon. It happened after we had already gone back to the hotel to change for the night. Terrible thing that happened. And this was 100% on the Gaylord.
Now, we reached out to the Gaylord and they confirmed that a pipe did burst, that they have been dealing with pipe issues this week. However, they're unaware of when that problem will be fixed.
If you're having issues with leaky pipes before the con starts, do not let someone set up their table of merchandise right underneath said pipes, because that is just a disaster waiting to happen, and the disaster happened. And I don't know like what they're gonna do about it. They're probably gonna have a lawsuit on their hand. I'm only guessing because I know that the water spilled onto people. The water got into a girl's eyes. People got sick from it. That is a very traumatizing thing to happen.
And
I mean, like, artists lost hours of.
Yeah, no, she was about to bring it up, but yeah, artists, you know, some of them probably lost some of their inventory because of it, and if they want to, that is potential for a lawsuit. You know, like damage, like loss. You know, what is it? Loss. Lost inventory, lost profits, I guess that's what we're lost wages. Yeah, because like, you know, especially some of those products don't come cheap. You know, some of these people, artists, you know, especially stuff like prints or pins or keychains, you know, they have to wait like weeks for the process to happen, you know, for the materials and all that stuff, just for it to be, you know, potentially destroyed by a leaked pipe. You know what I mean? That's just, that right there is a lawsuit waiting to happen. And don't be surprised if a lawsuit ever comes up from Katsu or the Gaylord. I don't know if it's going to be on the Gaylord or it's going to be on Katsu.
It won't go towards KATSUCON because they had nothing to do with it. Besides, you know, what we heard about their piss poor management and like, you know, the way things have been going, that is a Gaylord thing. They can try to fight it, but if they knew about the pipe issue that it could cause problems, then that's on them because they knew and they were neglected. They neglected it, and therefore it led to that. But it's sewage, right?
Yeah,
that was sewage, not just water.
Basically, like, yeah, that's. Yeah, I think that's probably why that doesn't help either. The whole body odor. Like, it could be from that.
Yeah. So, if I were one of the attendees and that happened, and I happened to be there, I would sue the shit out of the hotel. Damn! Oh no! You ruined my cosplay. You ruined my clothes, my shoes. You ruined my credit. I got hit by that sewage water. Now I'm at a 500 on my credit score.
But I will say though, do you think that they probably, because what the reporter said that they were experiencing issues this like the week of, would they had let Katsu be notified and like tell the artist, hey, just letting you know there's been some issues. We want to move you to a different spot if possible or something like that. I don't know.
They should have. So they knew they're having issues, but they probably, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they decided to wait till after the event to address the issue. You know, okay, it should be fine. Nothing major should happen. I don't think we'll have a problem. We'll just let the weaves have their weekend, and after that, we'll have it fixed. Because, you know, fixing it would require shutting off the water, and they were already leading into the weekend. It was already packing up, and I think that they were heavily relying. You can see somebody holding their nose.
That probably must have stunk.
Let's see what else they have to say, and then I'll give like a full opinion.
Time and potential sales because they all had to evacuate.
Yeah,
it was absolutely unacceptable. Should not have happened. I will give it to the KATSUCON staff because they tried really hard to turn that situation around. I know they extended the artist alley hours, and I did end up going.
What did it say?
Evacuate. Like it was absolutely unacceptable. Should not have happened. I will give it to the KATSUCON staff because they tried really hard to turn that situation around. I know they
Hi everyone. We wanted to give an update that the artist alley will be staying open until 9 p.m. tonight. Go support all the wonderful artists and creators. 12 likes and some heart reactions.
Yeah, that probably was from like the Facebook group, maybe.
I kind of want to see. We'll see if we can find the post and go through the comment section. And be like, this is a real shitty situation.
Extended the artist alley hours, and I did end up going back in the artist alley on Sunday. It was even more cramped because there's like a whole space that they just can't use. So the main thing was everyone was saying it was poop water, okay, because it smelled like poop, like it's a pipe, like you kind of expect it to be poop water, right? I believe that was debunked, and they're saying it was dishwasher water, which, you know, like it is better than poop water, but it's still not good to have dishwasher water spill on you because you don't know what's in it. I mean, you've got food, you've got the utensils that have been in people's mouths, you've got like all this other stuff. Like,
so some could argue that dishwater is almost just as bad as the shit water because of the cleaning chemicals and compounds that is used to clean the dishes. Imagine if somebody had swallowed that shit.
Jesus.
No, that could tear up. That could burn up your insides. Like, that is not good. Oh, we got our first spammer of the day. Add to the block list.
That's still disgusting. That doesn't make it any better. So I really hope that there's some kind of like insurance, because I know, like, especially the artists that were directly affected and even their neighbors, some of their merchandise was probably destroyed. How are you going to compensate that? Extending.
Hey, I see Goku and Raditz.
The artist alley hours doesn't make up for the merchandise that they lost, and it's so hard when you're a small business too, because that stuff is not cheap to come by. I know that they post it on the website and everything, but I just do not agree with the no bags in dances policy. Now look, I get it if you have like a backpack or a massive purse, but I feel like things like fanny packs should be allowed, because I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. Like, I can shove my ID in a flask in my bra if I need to. I can shove it in my platform boots if I need to. Someone else might not be able to do that, and there's going to be things that people need, like they need their phones, they need their wallets, they need water bottles, like they might have other stuff on them, they might not have a
medication, inhalers, what else,
gum. Yeah,
car keys, gum,
ID,
car key, wipe,
hotel keys,
bottle of alcohol, essential shit.
Hotel room or a friend that they can leave it with, and it's just doing too much. I understand, like, there is the concern of people like drugging anybody or something like that, but like they're so worried about controlling the alcohol thing. It's like, you are not going to control it. You cannot stop me from shoving my flask in my boot. It's one of those things that they can't control, and they need to stop trying to control so hard. They had like a whole row of like lockers you could rent to put your bags in. $15. If you think about it, you're gonna be in that rave for like an hour or two. Renting a locker for like
or you're trying to take her seriously, and then I see this dude fucking dancing. I thought he was having a stroke.
It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of lagging a little bit, so on my end. So yeah, it's like skipping frames and stuff, but it's okay.
Oh no, you gotta see this.
If you think about it, you're gonna be in that rave for like an hour or two. Renting a locker for like $15 is absolutely outrageous to me. I feel like that's a very, very greedy thing.
What is your opinion on the $15 per locker thing?
I think that is kind of lame, especially for like a rave or something like that. Like she mentioned, if you're gonna be there for an hour, you pay $15 for an hour. I don't know. I mean, unless you're like splitting it with other people, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you, how much do you know by any chance? And it's okay if you don't. Do you know by any chance how much the lockers were at Colossal?
For the pool, for like the water park, right?
Yeah.
It was like $20-$25, if I remember correctly.
Okay, well, that defeats the point I was trying to prove. But that's different, right? Because I don't want to I don't want to come off as defending KATSUCON because they're one of my favorite conventions of all time, and they're our convention of the year for 2023. Mm-hmm. But like, I can't help but like defend them. Like, I could see the justification for that price. Let me tell you why I'll justify that. Because it wasn't a requirement. They checked your bag to make sure you weren't bringing in weapons or glass or being un pendejo. But the lockers were not required. You could take your shit with you to a table or a chair and just leave it there and pray to God
that's the thing too.
Shit.
And it's like it's basically, I mean, that's what it was. It was just basically like a regular. It's like going to like an actual like a water park during the day, except it's at night and it's with 21 and older. And you know, most people aren't gonna like do stupid shit and all that. And also, it's like the rules is basically based off of the Kalahari, like the venue itself. You know, there's some rules that are like beyond the control of the convention itself.
Right. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Let's keep watching this video.
Raves were mid. I don't know. There was no amount of Pink Whitney that could get me turned in that rave. I was just kind of standing there like, I love a con rave, but I was not feeling it. Shout out to the dudes in the dance circle. Y'all were cool, but yeah, it was not that good. I think I only stayed in the rave for like maybe 2 songs on Saturday night as well, but I was just not into it. The staff was very rude this year. Ruder than usual. I've spoken about this in a previous video, but like, it is to be expected that convention staff is going to be rude, and I have gone as far as to kind of take their side in a way, being like, okay, well, they're just volunteers. They're not responsible for everything that happens. Like, they're stressed. Like, people don't listen to them. Like, you probably wouldn't want to be volunteering anyway, so don't give them a hard time. Yeah, I still stand by that, but like at the same time, like, there is no reason for like these volunteers to be so rude for no reason, or like to be on a power trip. Like, what are you on a power trip for? Like, you're not getting paid. I feel like the overall vibe was very unwelcoming at this con. Like, I did not feel like the gaylord wanted.
Yeah, okay, let's stop for a second. I've never in my life understood that concept of people having a power trip whenever they get some kind of like, they're volunteering.
Yeah, they're taking their job too seriously, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're literally there because you don't want to buy a badge, so you want it for free. So now you're just volunteering, right? And all of a sudden you're like, well, hey, sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, I'm the law. I make the rules. I'm like, bro, you are one insult away from getting punched in the face. Like, you are about to be decked in the schnoz. Give you that Goku treatment. I never understood the power trip. I think it's very unnecessary. It's very
it's the most classic advice ever. Just relax. You know what I mean? Just we understand you're doing your job. We get it, but you don't have to like overthink it. It's not that, you know, it's not that deep, you know?
That's right. It's not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Us to be here. I did not feel like Katsu itself wanted us to be here. But it's like, I get like you might be trying to be a family con, but you are, whether you want it to be or not, a party con. You are a con where people come and they're going to wear their most revealing cosplays, and it's just like you can try to police it, but you can't police it. And they were also just really weird about like places that they know people like to hang out. They were very strict about photography this year. They were very strict about where you could sit this year. And I know like even in like popular photo spots, there were signs tripods, no tripods, no sitting, like all of this other stuff. It just felt like I was
so lame.
No sitting, no sitting, no loitering, no breathing.
No
Breathe
existing.
somewhere else on your own time. No existing. Not spending money. Give us $1.
Like on a school trip, like being yelled at by like the teachers. I didn't feel like they wanted us to be there at all. And I get it, like on one hand, like there are some places like you shouldn't sit, and there are some places where you probably shouldn't set up a tripod, but there are places that you should be able to. And especially when there's nowhere to sit at that con, usually in general, like Lord forgive me for sitting on one of those, if you went, you know, like on the gazebo floor, like those like square things and they got the trees coming out of them. Forgive me for sitting on the ledge of that. It's not like I'm going to like fall off and fall onto another floor. Like it's pretty safe, I feel like. So forgive me for wanting to take a moment of respite when there is literally nowhere else to sit. And then another thing that I absolutely hated was right on the gazebo floor. If this is how you want to spend your con that way. But I feel like there's people who just go there and all they do is hang out on the gazebo floor, and I'm like thinking like, you know, like there's other stuff to do here. We'll get into that, but it's just like all they do is hang out.
I'm gonna disagree with her on that one. There are people that legitimately only hang out the lobbies at cons, legitimately hang out in the dealer's room or in the artist alley, you know, to each their own, right? I do not hang out in the artist alley or the dealer's room at all. Like the only reason why we walk through them because we got to review the cons. And so we go check it out. Like, okay, this is what they got. This is what's going on. All right, we're done. I'm not going to buy shit. I'm going to go to Walmart Con and buy shit there.
Go buy shit at Walmart.
Yeah, that's what we call it. We started calling it Walmart Con. Walmart Con. But yeah, no, I disagree with her 100% on the, like, oh, they only hang out at the gazebo. There's more shit to do. I mean, they're not like messing with you. I don't see the problem. I don't see the issue. They are doing them, boo. Don't be worrying about them. I think that people should just do what they want, and that's definitely one of those things. So I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. If you bought the badge, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like there are people that don't attend any panels. I feel like her when it comes to panels. Like, hey, there are panels. Why don't you go check them out? Come check out my panels. They're funny.
And one of the worst things about it, they had a lot of it roped off, so there was only like a very like narrow way you could get into the gazebo floor. There was this whole square of the gazebo floor that was like blocked off every time I went there, and it was just like someone blasting K-pop, and then there'd be like 2 or 3 people dancing to K-pop music, and it was just like y'all picked literally the worst space to do it. It wasn't like it was the idol space. It wasn't like it was a scheduled performance. It was just people blasting their K-pop and dancing, and it was like that pretty much the whole weekend. People are trying to take pictures, people are trying to socialize, maybe not have the K-pop dance circle right here because there are a lot of empty hallways. Yes, there were other things to do at the con, I would imagine. I didn't hear like about any events. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know who any of the guests were until I was sitting in the hotel room on Sunday.
What were you gonna say?
And she goes, I would imagine, the way she said it that way.
I know, like all of a sudden she's like, well, you know, there are other things to do. Like, ugh.
No, but she has a point in some cases. But I will say that like the part where she's talking about like, oh, people blasting K-pop and stuff, it kind of reminds me of there was I think it was OniCon in 2018 or 2019 where like people in the hallways who weren't going to like the formal, they were just blasting like Hispanic Latino music, and just people were just fucking around and dancing.
Was that me?
I don't know. I don't think so. You probably would have been there.
That sounds like some shit I already do.
I was expecting you to do it, but no, it's like outside of it. Like, you know, not everybody went to the formal. It was kind of funny because I went inside the formal, and then right after I left, I was like, man, that sucked. And then we just spent the rest of the time at the fucking the little party section in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And I met up with an old middle school friend too. And I was like, oh shit, you go to anime costume? Like, yeah, dude, holy shit.
Look, I'm gonna put it like this, man. The formal at OniCon sucks. And the only time I enjoyed it was when it was the prom and not the formal. And And it had nothing to do with the fact that I was the DJ. That had nothing to do with it. It was actually fun. People were shaking their asses. I think a couple people like we played some romantic ass like 80s songs, the kind that 9 months later, wah, 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 those kind of songs.
Oh yeah. Like it's like that joke where people are like, your parents effed in this music.
Yep, pretty much. Let's see what else she's got.
Pretty much
the pamphlet that
pretty much the songs our parents fucked with. Fuck too.
Yeah. I didn't realize that until you said that. I was like, crap. No.
we didn't even get. Our friends with the VIP passes got them. I feel like they weren't advertising the event very well, or like things to do at the event. So it almost makes sense that all like the common areas were so crowded, like fountain, atrium, gazebo, because it's like people probably didn't know what to do. Felt like we were all just kind of like packed in there like a bunch of animals. Parking was expensive. There are some rumors that the parking prices got hiked up for the weekend. I believe it. Very greedy if that is true.
Oh.
Another rumor that we have is bed bugs. Bed bugs was a rumor this year, and someone trying to say like, oh, they sent it out for testing, it's not bed bugs, which I'm like, how do you send it out for testing, first of all, and then get the results so quickly? And then even saying something like it could have been a tick. I feel like a tick is worse. Me personally, shit stains.
Yeah.
And shit was another thing. Thought we left shitting in the gazebo behind. I guess we're just doing it anywhere now. And then just a lot of dress coding, which I think is crazy. Like I know people got dress coded because like their skirts were too short, but I also know I saw people walking around with like their entire cheeks out. That's another thing. I feel like how are you going to enforce that? I'm one of those people, like I don't know why, but I love to read like the rules and like the policies for things. Like anytime I've had a new job, like I read that whole handbook. It's more of like a I'm nosy thing than a like I need to follow all the rules. But they were saying like, oh, it has to be 1 inch here, 2 inches there, and I'm just like, so which one of the volunteers is gonna go out there with a ruler? Like, let's be so
that's great.
And then of course
I would totally get a volunteer with a ruler just like at your job. It's to just walk around with a ruler and measure people's skirts and see how much of their ass cheeks are hanging out of their shorts. Oh god, somebody make that happen.
We were very entertained all weekend by the 21 Plus Facebook group and the 21 Plus Discord. Lots of people trying to.
How are you gonna? How so I hook up at cons?
I hook up at cons? I'm trying to lose my virginity at KATSUCON. Man, this.
Okay, hold on. The first comment. You have to go and find the absolute shiniest pebble you can. I mean, like shinier than any pebble you've ever seen. Then go to any of the ladies who are making a nest at KATSUCON and offer them your shiny pebble/rock. Once a lady accepts it and performs her mating call, you need to try and match it as best as possible. If your two voices harmonize correctly, she'll bow her head to you. Finally, you'll then be allowed into her nest where you can help lay her eggs. Hope this helps.
It's like a penguin.
Yes.
I was like, as soon as you said pebble and I saw the eggs, I was like, okay, no, it has to be a penguin thing.
Was that a Happy Feet? Like
it was either Happy Feet or that movie, The Pebble and the Penguin.
Okay.
I was gonna think of either of those two.
I feel like I've seen this before somewhere. Let's acknowledge. Let's shout out to this guy because he got 121 reacts, mostly the laugh react, a couple thumbs up, and a couple hearts.
I just think that's fucking funny. I just think it's really funny that because as soon as you said pebble, I instantly thought of like either Happy Feet or the Pebble and the Penguin.
So I know he's been dead, like not actually dead, like he's still alive. He's running around, but I know like the joke and the subject line have been dead for a while. Well, I just feel like something Captain Potassium would have wrote and posted on there.
Maybe. Socially awkward penguin in the comments. No, so here so someone said, I just realized I wonder if KATSUCON was the one where attendees were punching holes in the walls. I don't think so. I know about the Mr. Bread kicked the wall and he caused a hole in the wall, but I don't know if it was at Katsu or a different con.
That's because the walls are made of like paper mache and thin fucking like those old Japanese houses in the movie, like
Shogun. Oh yeah, or that scene, or where the Simpsons go to Japan and Homer like walks through one.
yeah, exactly. So hotels have like really thin walls, but this is fucking great. I need to find this comment. I hope whoever posted this anonymously and not like, yes, because yeah.
Plus Discord, lots of people trying to get lucky over the weekend, and you know, I hope that they were successful, but there were some very degenerate conversations in that Discord. Worth a read. It wasn't.
Oh, it was a Discord.
Oh, that was on, but it looked like a Facebook thing.
That one's a Facebook, but apparently
they probably posted on Discord as well.
Somebody find out where that Discord is.
Of course, I mean, meeting up with my friends is always lovely. I was very happy to see the friends that I hang out with every year. And of course, we had fun with my boyfriend and the people that we roomed with. We all had a good time together. Like the people that I was surrounding myself with, of course, were great. Some of my friends were super, super sweet and like were conspiring like a little late birthday surprise for me because my birthday is the week before KATSUCON. That was super sweet. That made me super happy. Love you guys for that. And then there was the Valentine's Day meetup. That was super fun. We didn't even really know it was going on. We were literally just walking around the fountain area and we saw like all these people crying there. And we're like, you know, like we got time to kill. Let's check it out. And like as we were walking closer and closer, like people just kept shoving like roses and candy and Valentine's in my hand. And I was like, oh. And we happened to have like my con ribbons and some like temporary tattoos to hand out. So it was so much fun to hand that.
So it was like a Valentine's Day, and these people are like, okay, this is who I want to hook up with. Here's some candy and some flowers that will die in a couple of days.
I mean, or you could just be like some people I know, they just get like fake flowers, but they smell like actual flowers. It's like, see, that works.
I mean, nobody thought to bring the stupid pebble.
The pebble and the penguin.
The pebble. And then offer her the pebbles, and she would have accepted it.
And if they bow their heads and you start singing, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. It works. It makes sense. Like that's how you get a definite answer.
I don't know. That comment just made me laugh. Just thinking of penguins.
I'm gonna make that as a joke from now on. You want to hook up with somebody?
Give a pebble, and then no, just copy and paste that whole comment section and just post it.
We gotta find it. I think it's in the KATSUCON. We'll find it. Our group is really good at finding shit out. Like I've noticed.
And I'm gonna show off some of the goodies that I got a little later. That's super sweet. Fun. We got like a backpack full of stuff out of it. Super great. Love that. That is like the con culture that I love. I got to see some of my friends perform in the idol space and they were absolutely phenomenal. Like so great to see them. I did ask on Facebook, like what do people think? And I talked to some of my mutuals as well. And the general consensus was it wasn't good this year. People felt unwelcome. They felt policed. They felt like it was over-regulating. They felt like the con and the convention center weren't doing enough to make it a good experience. There needs to be some kind of like cap on ticket sales, or they need to find a bigger venue. A lot of people were saying KATSUCON has outgrown the Gaylord. I personally love the Gaylord. I think it's a beautiful place to have a fun event such as KATSUCON, but like something's got to get worked out here because clearly I feel like the convention center and the con were not on the same page at all. I feel like there were a lot of issues on both sides. Yeah, I do think they need to cap sales. Now, a lot of people are saying attendance felt smaller and that there was a shrink in attendance. I'm not sure whether or not that's true or not because I certainly felt packed in there, but it was just very overcrowded. And maybe part of that was because so many like general hangout areas were blocked off and staff was very rude about like, don't stand there, like that type of thing. It's like, where the fuck do you want us to go? Honestly, it's like, we can't have hotel parties apparently. So like, what do you want from us? And then where it wasn't overcrowded, it was just very underwhelming. Mid was a word that was thrown around.
Okay, let's go ahead and just, it's like she's pretty much saying shit that she's already said. How do I say this without sounding mean? No, don't say it at all. I feel like that's really a stupid thing to like make a point about. Like, oh, the room parties. Like, I hate to like here's the thing, guys. None of the hotels allow room parties. They are not sanctioned. You can't. Insurance will not cover hotel room parties because they also interfere with the comfort of the other guest. Because other guests are there and they want to sleep, they want to wake up early. Yeah, you know, like Captain Banana Peel, he likes to go to sleep early, and he likes to wake up early and go and spend $500 in the dealer's room, and then breathe all over it. Like his pebble is breathing on a girl, and if she acknowledges him, then he's got it in.
I will say this though, like as we were listening to what she was saying, I was scrolling through Facebook, so I saw KATSUCON's post about the whole sewage thing. So this is what they said on February 15th, which was the Saturday. So it says, "Good morning. We have spoke with the Gaylord this morning, and we have some updates for everyone. Despite social media posting, the leak was gray water from the Gaylord's kitchen. As we have updates for reopening the hall, we will push to all social media. The health of our artists and all guests in the building are a priority for KATSUCON Entertainment Incorporated. Please remember that we have on-site first aid services with Operation Hamid at Camellia 3 and 4. So basically, they said that the leak was just gray water. It wasn't like sewage.
Gray water is sewage, though. I think people are. I think they're trying to like fuck with people's definition of what sewage is, right? Anytime water runs down the sink, it becomes sewage, whether it's got shit in it or not. Like water doesn't have to have shit. Chocolate churros,
chocolate hot dogs
in it. Chocolate hot dogs, chocolate churros, Snickers bars in it. It doesn't have to have shit in it, turds, to be sewage. It doesn't just have to have piss, right? Sewage is just water that's being drained out. That's no longer safe for to be consumed or used. And I think, because there was such an uproar, right? They're trying to play PR, but you could tell right away that like whoever does their PR doesn't really know what the fuck they're talking about.
They're just they're trying to like
what.
The best way to describe it is like they are trying to. It's like the most PR thing, but at the same time, they're trying to like downplay it in a way.
Yeah, it's like, look, man, don't listen to your friends. They're stupid. Okay. We know it was just water that had gray food coloring in it. Okay. It wasn't sewage. Y'all didn't see no caca coming out of the ceiling. Which, I mean, yeah, they would not run. I mean, it's still bad, though. I mean, it's still wastewater. That's all sewage is wastewater. And it still leaked and people got sick. And let's just say if it wasn't even gray water, right? Let's eliminate sewage. Let's eliminate gray. Let's just say it was regular water, drinking water. It doesn't matter. It damaged people's
shit. And when I saw the post, reading the comment section, all of them were just saying, "Hey, y'all should compensate the artists and like the dealers who got screwed over because of this whole situation. Like, you better like take care of them." And a lot of people, and I agree, like they should. Hopefully, they did. If they didn't, well,
I agree somewhat, but I also disagree that yes, the artists and the vendors should be taken care of. But that's on the hotel. I feel like the hotel neglected the issue. So they should sue the shit out of the hotel. They should sue them until they change the name to Weave Lord Hotel or whatever the fuck it's called. Obviously, though, based on what she was saying, and we can't just take her opinion, right? This is based off of her opinion, her experience, and what she felt at the time. We have to get other people's opinions. And yes, lots of people agree that it was like a bullshit weekend. And yeah, I'm looking at the comments on YouTube. I feel so bad for everyone who was affected by disgusting water problem, especially the vendors whose stations were in the water area. A lot of artists, book space. God, people, fucking commas, please. A lot of artists book space in the vendors hall nowadays due to how hard it can be to get into the artist alley. Space needed. But they 100% should have a larger artist alley. No, because why did it actually stink so bad in the artist alley, especially in the back? So that could be a combination. So once again, gray water is sewage.
Yeah.
It's waste, right? It's dirty dishwater. So it's going to smell. It's going to have a chemical smell. It's going to have a bad food smell. It's going to have all kinds of smell. Plus, on top of the con funk, because somebody didn't put you. There are people that legitimately do not like putting
or
on
they
deodorant.
claim they have an allergy or something like that.
Right. There are some people that like, I don't know if you've seen those stupid alpha videos where the guy has like all of his facial hair painted on and he's like hugging his girlfriend. They're like, oh, like, daddy, why do you have to leave? And he's all like, oh, kitten this, kitten that. Like those cringy ass videos are like the skinny guy who calls himself the drag. He's like, I'm an alpha. Raw. He starts like punching the air. He looks all kinds of stupid. Like you can smell them through the video. Like those are based off of like cringy stereotypes, right? Unfortunately, those are actual people that go to the cons. That it's not. I'm not saying like half the con, but like there's always like one out of like so many people that don't fucking bathe. Or there's an asshole who still there's like some 20-something or 30-year-old that still thinks that they're 17 years old, and they'll take a stink bomb and then break it. Stink bombs are still a thing, people. You can buy
smoke
them
bombs. Yeah, the stink bombs.
Okay, so all weekend long, KATSUCON was bad this year. All weekend long, I felt unwelcome and like I was a bother when it came to how the hotel staff treated us. Katsu struggles with having poor behind the times programming, but usually makes up for it with being a fun party con to take beautiful cosplay photos at. Saturday night, I was kicked out of one of the smaller buildings for taking photos against the texture wall, even though I saw lots of people doing that and was told we were allowed to take photos. Okay, they meant we were not allowed to take photos at all inside the buildings. But then Sunday night, Gaylord kicked me out for doing photos in the lobby and said photography isn't allowed at all on the property. So I guess after the con officially ended, they did not allow any of the cosplayers to take photos in the lobby of the convention. It sounds like the Gaylord didn't even want them there to begin with.
Especially what she was saying too. Like she was mentioning that, yeah, they kind of don't want to. They just didn't want to be there. Hold on, let me read the comment section. Like, people calling themselves alpha are basically admitting they just like software in alpha. They're unfit for the public until further testing is done. Hold on, there's one with a British voice. I don't know if you want me to do that. No, that's Australian.
That's
right, hold on, let me see if I can do
bad.
it. Hold up. Let me try to do my it's like, let's see, like, it's all grommet. All right, let's see. The male weeb searches for a lone female weeb to present his pebbles. We'll have to compete with the more dominant males. I don't know, that's my...
That was Australian too.
I was trying to do Wallace and Gromit. He's like, I want some cheese, Gromit.
Yeah, that came out.
It did. It's all Australian.
At the end, it came off.
We'll have to compete with the more dominant males.
Like, can you imagine you get like a Mexican to do it? The male weave searches for a lone female weave to present his pebbles, and then he'll have to compete with the other fools, the dominant males.
What is it called? The essay. Oh yeah, the essay. I remember, it reminds me of that. I know off topic a little bit, but it's like that South Park episode where they have to write an essay within the weekend, and then Cartman's like, "Hey, let's hire like Mexicans to like do our essays," and then it was like, "Oh yeah, did you have our essays?" Yeah, I wrote them my essay in Denver, and he wrote me a letter back. He wrote me an essay back.
Okay, hold on. Okay. The male weave searches for a long female weave, to present its pebbles. He'll have to compete with more dominant males.
I legit thought you were gonna do like a Billy Butcher. He's like,
the male weave searches for a bloody fucking lone female weave fucking cunt to present its fucking pebbles.
It's like, boy.
Or, King Shark is a shark. 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 This is. Should we do a part 2 to this KATSUCON?
I don't know. I honestly have more stuff come out of it. Honestly, like it's like that one thing where it's like, okay, that's pretty much the big thing that I was like, oh, what do you think of KATSUCON? What do you think about it lately? Oh, sewage water.
So, yeah, except for like the water, I don't think there's really a big story here. Yeah, hotels do hate. Hotels really do hate.
They hate attendees
because they hate, and it's not just anime congoers. Okay, as a person that worked for a hotel, they hate a lot of conventions, beauty pageants, shit like that. They hate the
sports players and all that stuff too.
Yeah, because they fuck shit up. I mean, should people sue the hotel or KATSUCON? I think they should sue the hotel. But
I was gonna say they could name the convention part of the lawsuit, but I don't know. Would the convention would probably have to like petition, like, okay, we want to be removed from the lawsuit.
Right. I think if I were a judge, I would have them removed because that's actually outside of their realm of control. The structure of the building is on the hotel itself. But speaking of suing, Sonic, you know what? People be suing people for any fucking thing nowadays, man. Somebody sued Red Bull because they didn't actually give them wings. Did you know that? That's why
they actually won the lawsuit. Actually, they actually won a case for that case, which is kind of surreal. Because they said it was false advertising. And yeah, that's true. It is false advertising.
Oh, motherfucker, I didn't think of that. I'm gonna sue Subway because they say eat fresh. That shit's been sitting there all day. Fresh my ass. But you know who's getting sued right now?
Well, LYFT. So
LYFT.
And I'm sure some of y'all know what we're talking about when we're gonna lead what we're leading to with this. So would you like to explain this, Goku?
All right, so for those of you that don't know, and we normally don't cover these kind of stories, but it's all over the internet. It's super popular. Like, I thought we would give our 2 cents on it. We're not going to allow any super offensive comments or anything like that to be on the show, but we're going to just go with the facts. So Dank Damos, who is a female rapper who booked a LYFT, was denied entry into the LYFT. Now,
yeah, so she was. So here's a little bit of a context too. So this is coming from somebody who used to work at. We used to work at like ride shares and all that stuff.
I did both.
Yeah, I did LYFT. I could tell you that. So here's the context. So she is a rapper who is she's really. Can we just tell her how much she weighs? I mean, or she's part of the big and tall category. Let's say that.
Well, how much does she actually weigh? Because I wasn't gonna. Okay, it says right here that she weighs. Doesn't give a definite number, but it says that the last time it was in the 500-pound range.
Right, and so basically they were saying. So she was suing LYFT after being denied a ride. She alleged that LYFT discriminated against her based on her weight. LYFT stated that they do not tolerate discrimination and are reviewing the matter. And also, her lawsuit included claims of hostile environment and desperate treatment, disparaging treatment, I guess. Well, let me look it up because I'm gonna see this thing just in case. Let's see. Because there's more. Okay, here we go. So this is from the article of the Michigan Chronicle. So this is basically what they wrote here. This was posted in February, last week, basically. Her legal name is, she's taking a rideshare giant LYFT after a driver allegedly refused to let her enter his car because of her weight, as she weighs nearly 500 pounds. The rapper shared video footage of the interaction on Instagram on January 19th, and what is captured is as blatant as it's painful to watch. I'm sorry, I got no space. My car is small, the driver tells her. I can fit in the car, responds. Believe me, you can't. So I'm sorry. I'm going to cancel the ride. You're not going to be charged. She pushes back, questioning whether he is outright denying her service because of her size. So you're telling me I can't get into the lift because I can't fit into your car? So are you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car, so I got to order another lift? His response is clear. Yeah, you need to order a bigger car. At one point, the driver even claims that his tires are an issue. None of it adds up, and none of it erases what was said before. She was too big to ride. Shortly after, she took her fight from social media to the courtroom. She and her legal team announced a lawsuit against Lyft, and the unidentified driver referred to the court documents as John Doe for violating Michigan's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. The law is clear. Discrimination based on religion, race, color, age, sex, height, and weight, and familiar status is illegal. So basically, so someone decided she didn't belong, Lyft a company, so defend the Lyft organization. So that's pretty much what is happening. So basically she got denied a ride, and she's claiming it's because due to her weight. And I'm gonna see here. We're gonna see a little bit here, see what is the let's see if there's any update, because I am seeing that there's been a lot of mixed reactions. I'm seeing reports that either she lost the case or so. Here's the thing though, and here's my thoughts on it, the whole thing. I can understand what the driver is saying, because there are some some cars could feel like whenever like a lot of weight is inside a car, like it can mess up the car. You don't really see it, but you kind of see it from like you start to feel it. You know what I mean? One good example, I had a friend of mine. He was a pretty heavy guy. He got in my car, and I felt the car like I heard like some like weird stuff coming in my car, and it's like, okay, it doesn't seem like a big deal. I'm sure this thing could lift it up, but for someone of her weight, I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of car was he driving. Goku, did you know what car he was driving?
So I know it was like a. No, I don't. I know it might have been like a 4-cylinder, 4-door, like compact car.
Okay.
Just based off of what I can tell, with a like a 3-passenger, like it had a 3-passenger like limit in the back. Like the car probably weighs about 1,200 pounds. So here's the thing. The reason why, like, we're like, normally I didn't like, I'm kind of annoyed. For one, they fired the Lyft driver. And if I were the Lyft driver, I would sue the shit out of Lyft. Like, that's fucked. That's messed up. Don't do that to that poor dude. Like, you're messing with his money, bro. Like, come on, have a heart. Like, here's the thing though. They filmed her. Like, she's like, I told y'all I could fit into this car. So they bring out a car and they open the back door. Dude, they didn't show her get in the fucking vehicle. One frame, she's like, I can fit in this car. And then the next frame, she's in the vehicle.
Like, they didn't show her like legit try to get in.
No, they didn't. They didn't show, like, she was in the vehicle the next frame. So we don't know how long it fucking took, or like what she did, or if she got in there, no problems. But if you watch her get in the front seat of that car, dude, like, you seen Norbit? Not trying to sound funny or anything, but have you seen Norbit?
Yeah.
Have you seen the scene where she gets in the car, like Norbit, why did I tell you how to adjust my seat? Like, I didn't adjust your seat, Respucia. Yes, you did. My titties against hot. See? See, that ain't right. Like, it was kind of like that. Like, not trying to be fucking funny or anything, but Jesus fucking Christ, that's how it was. Like, I get the accommodation thing. I do. But you got to understand that Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, we're independent contractors. These are our vehicles. This is not a Lyft car. I mean, some people do get their car from Lyft and Uber, but you're still responsible for maintaining that car.
Yeah, basically, Uber and Lyft doesn't cover that. You have to pay for your own gas. You have to pay for your own like oil change, maintenance, and all that stuff. I mean, they can give you like discounts or something like that. I mean, that's pretty much all you're gonna get. And then also like rentals and all that stuff too. They could they could ride you like a rental car. Like if you want to use a rental car instead of using your own vehicle for doing Uber or Lyft.
They have such asinine fucking contracts because the contract states that, okay, here's the mile limit. Here's the mileage limit for the vehicle per like month, right? Or I don't know if it's month or week. But they also have a limit. You have to do this many rides at least.
Yep.
Per week. And it's like 30 rides per week minimum. I'm like,
it's kind of wild. And it's like when we do here's the thing from a driver's perspective, and this is coming from both of us who used to be former drivers and this kind of stuff. Sometimes the ratings and all that stuff can get very strict. They were like, oh, if you're below a 4.6, you're likely getting deactivated. Like that's how serious are. I'm like, really? 4.6? I mean, I've been to restaurants I've been to like drivers that had like four stars. It's no big deal. But if they have like 2 stars, then okay, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, if you have 2 stars, you don't give a fuck. Like, is this guy in the wrong? I feel like if you watch the video, he wasn't mean, he wasn't rude, he wasn't calling her names, he wasn't telling her to fuck off.
Because I'll give you another good example too. So they have these weird rules. So I remember WeebCon last year. We try to order a Lyft instead of trying to find parking and all that stuff. We tried ordering a Lyft because I was with a group. It was just me, my girlfriend, and a friend of ours. Both of them, they're a couple, so they have a baby with them, and they have to like have the stroller and all that stuff. When we got our Lyft, we were told that, oh, we have to cancel it. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Why not? Because you have a stroller. You can't put there. You have to get a new one. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like I even told him, like, dude, I used to do Lyft too. We have no problem with it. We could just open the trunk. That's it. Like, you got stuff in your trunk. And he was like really arguing about it. That is an example of like, okay, what not to do. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I don't know if I would have taken the trip either because of the baby, because you have to have a car seat. Unless the stroller is like part car seat, because you do have the combo strollers. If that's the case, yeah, okay. All right, cool. You're installing it. I'm not, because those bitches are a pain in the ass to install. But if you don't have a car seat and you got a small child, I'm not taking you in my vehicle. Because it's for the safety of the child, because we live in Houston. You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've almost been T-boned while driving for Uber or Lyft is... I've been T-boned more than we actually have subscribers. So it's been a lot. I mean, I think it's a bad idea. If I were the judge, I would throw out her case.
So you're throwing out a case and it was kind of weird because we haven't got like an official statement about it, but I am seeing reports saying that she did lose the case because, all right. So as you were saying, Goku.
No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that she was like trying to go all these interviews and all that stuff. And she was like, she got invited to the Breakfast Club. And then when she got there, the seat they provided was too big for her. And they asked her, do you got anything bigger? And they actually brought in a couch for her to sit on. And I'm like, the fact that that's on video, you kind of already lost the case there.
Yeah. If you haven't watched that shit, go and watch it online. She goes up and she's like, oh, actually, can we play that?
I don't know. I probably, just to be safe, I wouldn't.
Okay, so I just looked it up. We can play it because it's the fair use.
Oh, okay.
But we can't play like the whole thing. We just play that one clip. All right, so I found one, but it's a YouTuber reacting to it.
Someone said, "Oh my god!" Someone really fucking said. Hello. So this is So this is
what's going on.
This is
it. Yeah.
This is the Breakfast Club. Hold on, let me.
I was gonna say someone in the comment section was like talking about like. So we're watching this on TikTok. Someone said on TikTok talking about that damn warehouse lost her lawsuit against LYFT. Bro, come on, man.
Damn.
Come on. So this is what we were talking about. So this is the clip we're talking about of her in the Breakfast Club, and if a lot of people have said this was the moment that she lost her lawsuit.
You good?
Good morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
Stormy. Hey, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, King.
Got it. Yep. This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Is she already little?
We had
This is what I'm talking about. Good. This is the accommodation.
There you go.
Oh.
You said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
But we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
You good?
I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna say a single fucking word. I just dropped my phone. Somebody say something in the comment section before I blow up my shit.
Is anybody even on the comment section because it hasn't changed?
Nah, it's because at this point, I don't think people want they want to see what we have to say before they share.
I think because the way she said, like, in terms of accommodation with that kind of stuff, there's some situations where it's not that easy to accommodate stuff, like people with like bigger sizes, especially transportation. You know, for example, like the airlines, you know what I mean? Not everybody, you know, there's certain seats that they can't fit in because, you know, the seats, the way they are, that's how they're designed. They can't like move stuff and all that. Someone in the comments says, I ain't commenting on that, bro.
I told you.
I mean, listen, like, I can understand from her perspective on that, but at the same time, that's kind of a, I don't know, it's like, would you say it's an apples to oranges like comparison? Comparing?
This is, I think so. I don't think you can compare yourself to the LGBTQ plus community
for that case.
For in this case, no, absolutely not. Don't and how do I phrase it? The people that are, there's a lot of struggle in the LGBTQ community, and there's a lot of people fighting for equal rights, and you know, she needs Scott Steiner as a coach. I don't give a fuck. Bro, you know what? I'll tell you after the show. There's this Ryback commercial that I saw where he's selling like a supplement or a workout routine. He tackles some chick into the pool and she comes out looking completely different. You know which one? Have you ever seen it? It's a Ryback.
No, I've seen the one where he's just eating chips and that's it. There's like a video of him, like a green screen of him just eating chips.
I remember he tried being vegan for like a month and then he's like, fuck this. Honestly, she can't compare the two because is her, there are people that are plus size, right? And it's not really by like it's a health thing. And they could work out, they can lift weights, and they can do a lot, and it just won't go down. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I am still plus size. I'm still considered fat. And I'm still like, you know, plus, I'm definitely plus size. Don't, despite the fact that people are making like the buff jokes and stuff like that. I mean, I'm still considered on the fat side of the community and the plus size. But I used to be more plus size.
Mm.
I've never shared this with anyone before, but when we went to Six Flags once, I tried to get on the roller coaster and I couldn't get on because I was too big.
Oh, they did not. Yeah, because it's because they have like this. Oh yeah, it's like that thing where like you go to like before you go to the ride, there's like test it out, see if you can fit it or something.
No,
like
that's new. When I did this was
before that.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because like look, and I'll even show people like how big I was. I have tried to turn myself around. Obviously, it's no secret that I started going to the gym and working out and lifting weights, but this was me when I met JDF. Like, am I still plus size? Am I still considered? Yeah, absolutely. I still am, because I've only been at it for six months, and you don't see instant results. But now, this was me at KATSUCON not too long ago.
Like very different,
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference. Like, definitely my gut doesn't stick out. Maybe I'm just sucking it in, but even sucking it in, you can't suck it in that much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you look, I don't really have a neck, and this one I do. So it is something that could be worked on. Sure. I mean, people can change their life and start. Look at Lizzo. I've shitted on Lizzo forever, not because of her size, because of the crazy shit that she did. And people want to turn the blind eye to the bullshit that she did, right? Remember, she got caught like sexually assaulting people and like body shaming them and making them.
Yeah, they had like her like some of her like team was like accusing her of like doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they accused her of being a bitch, dude. Like, it was crazy. And like, have you seen her transformation lately?
No, I haven't seen it.
Night and day, bro. Night and day. Like, I saw a picture of her recently. I don't know if it's true or if it's real or not, but if it's real, holy crap, she's definitely lost a ton of weight. She's always tried to lose weight. I feel like the guy's right. Not everyone's going to always be able to accommodate you. And that's just the fact of life. Not everyone can always accommodate you. That's why we had the DEI bill. People think that the DEI thing, and we, not to get into politics here, but people thought that the DEI thing was just, companies have to hire black people, or have to hire Mexicans, or have to hire people like of color. Like, oh, this is stupid. You don't have to hire people of color. You shouldn't be forced to. No, that's not what it was about. That's the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It was about accommodating people that need accommodations. If you have special needs, if you're in a wheelchair, certain things like that, right? If you have a service animal. I mean, it's now if I were the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, I'm just gonna put it out there. I would have told her no. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't have even stopped. That guy was nice. He stopped, pulled over, and said, "I can't do it." I would have kept driving and canceled the trip. Didn't your driver, with your friends and the baby, didn't he just keep driving and cancel the trip?
He was just telling us like, "Oh, just can't. No, I can't." He basically said, kind of denied us a service in a way, where he was like, "No, I can't accommodate you, man. You have to get a different ride." I'm like, okay. I mean, we call customer service and they're like, explain what's going on. And it's like, okay, well, he shouldn't have done that. We'll just compensate you for the next ride for free. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, they do have a very good point, because it is one of those, well, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have done all that. And it's kind of a hard subject to talk about. Everyone's talked about it. Everyone's made their jokes. do you think Dank Damos? So there's a story going around that she's doing this for clout. Do you think that might be the case?
I mean, I think she's trying to take advantage of it. You know, she's like, okay, well, this is the most attention I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna sue LYFT, and I might as well make the most of it. That's what I'm thinking. Like, oh, maybe that's just it. She's trying to like squeeze as much out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I could actually see that. Like, I feel like she is doing this because, like, who the fuck even knew who she was, honestly? Wait, how is it not going through?
What?
Nothing. Sorry. I like nobody knew who she was. I think this is like a publicity stunt to get her like more recognition. I feel like she felt like maybe she wasn't famous enough yet, or like maybe
I don't know. Like I didn't know who she was until the lawsuit, so I guess it works.
But it's not. I think she's in the wrong. I think that this is, and I feel like the guy should sue the shit out of LYFT. I definitely would. I know some people don't want to comment. It's fine, but I will say this: I think that the guy should countersue LYFT for letting him go for lost wages. And if I was him, I would sue her. I would sue her because she's messing with his livelihood. Now, people forget that as an independent contractor, this is our vehicle. We have the right to refuse service to anyone.
Yeah, like we're kind of different than employees. You know what I mean? An example is we decide our schedules. We decide who to pick up. We decide which work do we do. For example, there could be one where you can get a request of like, oh, hey, you could pick this person up and drive them, I don't know, like 2 miles from here for like $3. And you can either accept it or reject it, or they'll probably give you another one. It's like, okay, would you like to drive 15 miles to the airport for $30? Like, which one would you want to do?
Yeah. They always do some kind of like way to get you, like, to sucker you into going into like different places, or like, hey, look at this incentive, sign up now and you could be driving this person. It's like, but honestly, it is one of those subjects that is it a very sensitive subject? Yeah, kind of. There are a lot more people favoring the LYFT driver rather than her. I feel like she is making a game of this. And honestly, if I were the judge, I would throw this. Obviously, there's sayings that she already lost the case. If not, if I were the judge, I would throw it out because this would open a floodgate. People are already suing other people for whatever the fuck they want. Somebody sued their parents for giving birth to them.
Yeah, that unfortunately is a thing.
Kind of shit world do we live in where he's like, hey, how dare you give life to me? I'm going to sue the shit out of you. Oh, well, fuck you too then. I don't know. I'm not taking this personally. I'm just trying to share my opinion, but I think that's pretty much it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, might as well the last subject before
real quick. You've been warned. If you haven't already watched, if you're not up to date with Daima, go ahead and leave the show now. We will go ahead and talk about Dragon Ball Daima in 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So, have you been watching Daima?
Have I been watching Daima? I've been seeing clips of it, but again, like I probably have an idea what's going on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the last gift that Akira Toriyama has given to the world is a canonized child and adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And an adult and child canonized Super Saiyan 4-esque. We don't know what it's called yet. It might be called Super Saiyan 4.
Let's just call it for now. Super Saiyan 4.
But it is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Goku in Dragon Ball Daima has gone Super Saiyan 4. It's The first time I saw it, I was like, no, because I saw like
I thought it was like some fan made thing or something.
Yeah, I thought it was AI. I thought it was AI, and I'm like, oh, not this. Like people are really stretching. And then I started seeing it. I'm like, and it was the same video. I'm like, oh shit. This is real? And then I saw it, dude. And he went Super Saiyan 4. And it's crazy because now the anime contradicts a lot of Super, but I mean, it's fine.
It takes place after Super or before Super?
It's before Super, but after the fight with Majin Buu.
Like in between.
Right. So there's a theory that the fight between Goku is the dream that Beerus had, and that's what he sees. Because if you watch Dragon Ball Super or the Dragon Ball Z movie, he visualizes a Super Saiyan, like it's a Super Saiyan God.
But it looks like Super Saiyan 4.
No. So let me tell you what the connection is between the two. It's a Saiyan with red aura, but they have a tail.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that, my instant thought was like, "Oh my god, Super Saiyan 4."
Right. So, like, because the Saiyan has a tail, I think that Beerus is like seeing the fight in his dream, and like that fight is going to cause Beerus to wake up. And you know, Vegeta and Bulma are going to celebrate by taking a bath together. Like, I need to dedicate an entire episode to that because people are shitting on Vegeta. They're calling him a simp.
What, simping for his wife?
Yes, exactly.
What the hell?
He's just simping for his wife.
Yes, his wife.
You could tell a lot of these people are single, they're not married,
or they don't, or they just don't like. They just use the word simp, but don't really. I don't know. They just use it as a buzzword because they saw it and they said, "Yeah, I'm going to use that word."
I feel like there's a lot of guys, especially in our community, that you show anyone, guy or girl, your partner, any kind of affection, that you are a simp.
Yeah.
And it's like, how?
In what sense?
In what fucking context am I a simp? Because I'm being a loving partner. Because I'm not being a piece of shit. I feel like we can dedicate an entire episode to like, because this Wednesday, Definitive One Up Studios is going to join us. I don't know if he wants me to say his actual name, but Definitive One is going to join us from Anime Tyler, Texas. We're going to do an Anime Tyler, Texas interview next week. It's going to be one of two specials. We're either going to have an interview special with a burlesque troupe, or we're going to have the Gains 5 Ever. I have 3 guests lined up. I need to confirm them tomorrow for next week. It's Sailor Swole Mac, Will Iron, and Kane Carter, the independent wrestler in Houston.
I like this called Will Iron. I like that. That's clever. Instead of Iron Will Iron.
That's clever. So one of them is a bodybuilding cosplayer. The second one is a bodybuilding professional trainer. Or a personal trainer, I mean, sorry. And the other one is a professional wrestler that works out. We're calling the special Gains 5 Ever.
Gains 5 Ever.
Gains 5 Ever. I'm even thinking about doing a panel that's called A Fat Guy's Guide to Getting in Shape.
Gains 5 Ever. A fat guy's Gains 5 Ever. A Geeks 5 Ever story.
I feel like I'm gonna, because like, yeah, no, I'm still fat. Like, let's just put it out there. But
you're still working on it. Yeah.
It takes years. It takes years. So I think that's where people get discouraged from working out. Here's the thing I will notice though, dude. I've noticed that people have looked at me differently since I started this. Like I'm some kind of fucking traitor.
What the hell?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like
that is weird. Like, well, shouldn't you be happy that you're doing something for your body?
Yeah, like shouldn't you be happy for me, you sack of shit?
Yeah, I never understood that too. It's like that thing where it's like, and it's kind of like the other way around too, where it's like people would crap on you if you like you look big, or if you're cosplaying a character supposed to be buff. It's like, oh my god, why the hell are you cosplaying this character? You don't look that. But when you actually like actually work out, not just for cosplay, but for health reasons. And they'd be like, "Oh my god, you look so cool, dude! Oh my god!" I'm like, if you didn't like me at my big, you don't deserve me at my buff.
Oh, so but there's other comments that you get like from other people, like, oh, so how'd you get so strong? Oh, I started lifting weights. Well, lifting weights is so unhealthy for you.
Yeah, they have like their own takes and stuff. It's like, oh, you should do this, you should have done that, or it's like people work out differently, you know?
Yeah, I carve. I'm like, oh, I do cardio and I can do this much cardio and I can do this, I can do that. Well, good for you. I can lift a car and throw it. Can you lift a car? I know lifting weights is bad for your health, bad for your heart, bad for your back. I'm like, you think I'm on steroids? What the fuck?
Do people even use steroids anymore?
Yes, it's called gear. It's called
really?
gear. Yes. So there's different types of so it's not steroids, but there's different types of supplements you can take that replicate
Steroid performance
or emulate steroids.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar was on an estrogen blocker. It didn't. All males produce estrogen as well, and he was on an estrogen blocker, and that's completely illegal. And Eddie, I know Sam SUED is his name. The two 20-year-olds that are like bodybuilders, they're on gear. Gear is like a lesser form of steroids. It's not, but they are huge. Like steroids don't, like the gear that they're on doesn't make you huge. Like the professional wrestlers were in the 80s and 90s. That's completely like 100% like injected steroids, but you can't even do injected steroids because it's dangerous. That's why a lot of people had it injected in their ass.
Yeah.
Because if you inject it like in any, like your arm, it would fuck with your arm. And so there are supplements you can take that don't actually fuck with your health or your testosterone. You can take vitamins. I take magnesium, zinc, and I forget what the third one's called. I take creatine. Creatine is a supplement that helps retain water in your body.
Yeah.
And it's good for recovery and for looking big.
Okay.
Protein, obviously you're gonna need protein for muscle growth. And what else do I take? Pre-game. I take pre-workout. I call it pre-game. People like pre-game, you mean like when you drink at the house? No. Some people call it pre-game, some people call it pre-workout. One thing I will say though, that people are just like reluctant to give up. When you work out, you can't drink as much. Like the alcohol has to be cut down. Big time. I didn't get drunk at KATSUCON. I didn't get drunk at USHICON, bro. 2 cons in a row, I didn't get shit faced.
Someone out there is going to be like, "Oh, that's a record."
It is a record.
It is.
KATSUCON was already the record, and I've broken it.
Yeah.
I've doubled the record.
But if anything, that's kind of what's helped. And for anybody out there, this is basically what to expect with the Gains 5 ever. Basically all this stuff, because there's people out there, they want to like work out, they really do want to do something, but sometimes they don't know, or they want to do something that makes them feel comfortable, I guess.
They want
some aspects.
I will say this one thing, and I'm going to mention it in the episode. Don't ever get into working out because you want to. This was actually said by somebody in the community, not my words, their words. I want to get bitches. That is what they fucking said.
That's their motivation.
That is their fucking motivation. I want to get bitches. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. First off, when you go to the gym, don't talk to anybody there because 90% of the people there are already pissed off you exist. You shouldn't do it for that because
you should have better motivations.
Right. You should do it for yourself, or do it if you have a kid that you want the kid to be proud of you. Because there are parents that like do it and they want to be a parent that their kid can be proud of. Like daddy's the strongest. Damn right. Like that's how, bro, you're younger than me, so you probably don't remember. But before we had Pokemon, like we would battle dads. Like my dad could beat up your dad. No, my dad could beat up your dad.
Oh yeah, we would say that a lot.
People battled dads like this was a Pokemon fight.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if everyone knew your dad was stronger, like we're like, yeah, no, his dad's gonna kick your dad's ass. So people would battle their dads, and like, my dad could kick the shit out of your dad. So that might not be a muscle thing. That might be a joint thing. You might need to take a supplement for your joints. You can take supplements and vitamins, not because you're working out, but just because there are some vitamins that are actually good for your body, because when you reach a certain age, your body stops producing it. Yeah, but we'll talk about that in hopefully next week's episode. All right, Sonny, got anything left so we can wrap up? Want to plug in your socials if you got nothing?
Well, just plug in. Just want to say that just follow me on Instagram. I am Super Saiyan Sonic. That's my Instagram. From there, you can go to my bio. I have a link tree. You can follow me on YouTube, which is Keyblade Sonic. I just did a couple of videos on the network test for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Basically, if you want to get an idea what the Sonic games, what I participated in, I got picked to do. Just to get an idea what it looks like, you can go there. I'm working on some other videos too. From there, follow me on TikTok, Keyblade Sonic as well. And that's pretty much it. And also for the wrestling fans out there, the Elimination Chambers this Saturday. So maybe we'll talk about that, the aftermath of that, on next week's show.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Next week's show, we'll be talking about the first weekend of Sherwood. Wait, what?
March.
The road to WrestleMania began with the Royal Rumble. It continues with the Elimination Chamber. We'll also be talking about Sherwood this Wednesday night. We'll be talking to Anime Tyler Texas to get their thoughts about the coming convention. I think I need to submit a couple more panels before I get yelled at again by them. All right, guys. I know we started late today, but Wednesday we will be on at 7. We'll see you Wednesday, guys. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.
All right, you guys. Take care. See you guys next time. Stay safe out there.